Welcome to week 10 of Kentucky high school football action. We've got a big game tonight. It's a great football Friday night here in Hardin County. And this is Paul Gray alongside Dan Robbins. We are at Bruin Football Field here where the home-standing Central Hardin Bruins at 8-0, led by Coach Tim Mattingly, welcome in the 8-0 and third-ranked North Hardin Trojans. This is one of the biggest football games I can remember in years around here. It's one of those situations where the O must go. Two undefeated teams. Folks, get your popcorn, get your cooler. Don't get up to go to the bathroom during the game. Halftime will be here in a while for those kinds of things. This is exciting as it gets. Again, Coach Thompson and his North Hardin Trojans are ranked third. Coach Mattingly and his Bruins are ranked fourth. And I don't remember a game like this in this area for many, many years. We had, I think, a Meade County Central Hardin game about 5 years ago where both teams were undefeated late in the season. But we've got two Hardin County football teams undefeated right now and in the top of Kentucky. Dan, what are your thoughts about the evening?
Yeah, the rain came in a little earlier than we thought that was going to happen. We thought maybe it would hold off on us till tomorrow, but you know what? It did not stop the crowd at all. They are packed here. They're starting to fill up the track all the way around at this point. It's an exciting night. It's electric. You can feel it. It's in the air. The bad part about it is someone is going to go home with a 1, 8-1 at the end of the night, and the other is going to go home 9-0. I don't feel like that anybody can walk away at the end of the day and think that they've done anything wrong, but somebody's going to come out with a W and somebody is not, and then they're going to go back to the drawing boards and figure out, because, Paul, I believe that we are going to see these two teams again in the second round, and I'm not going to take anything away from the other teams in this district, but we've seen them. We've seen what these two teams can do, and I believe these two teams will see each other again in a few weeks for what would be then – we talked about earlier, the official district championship.
Right.
Tonight is just the pregame before that.
This is for seeding, for home field advantage. These two teams have dominated their opposition this year. Both teams outscoring the opposition by crazy margins. Central Hardin has scored 373 points to their opponent's 121. North Hardin has scored 304 points to the opponent's 68. That stingy defense. And that brings up, Dan, one of the most intriguing matchups, which is the Central Hardin offense and the North Hardin defense. What do you think?
Wow, yeah. I mean, you've got two high-powered on their respective side of the ball. Central Hardin can air it out. They can run the ball. They can do about anything on offense. And then North Hardin's defense is as stingy as can be. They're not going to give up the yardage. They're not going to give up the plays that maybe Central Hardin has been used to getting in their previous 8 games. And so it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to just come down to, who can maybe get away with a little something here or there and pull off the big one and get a score. It may be a 0-0 walking into halftime. We may be totally wrong. It could be 40-40. We don't know.
Yes, neither team, I think, has faced a team this formidable this year. Both of the teams, I think, are really ready for this matchup. They're going to be pretty keyed up, pretty amped up. Again, the weather may be a factor. I think, as Dan mentioned, there's a huge crowd here tonight. I think the casual fan may have been kind of kept away by this. I think we'll continue to have more people show up. We expected somewhere in the 10,000 range as far as attendance. Don't know if we've quite gotten there yet, but we've got a really good crowd here this evening with just 2 minutes until kickoff, and both teams getting ready to go. Dan, I know you know some of these boys.
Yeah.
Being over at EC3. You get North Hardin and Central Hardin boys. Tell us a little bit about the atmosphere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's been a great week with them all in the building. It's been kind of quiet. You haven't heard a whole lot of chatter going back and forth. I've heard a lot from just the kids, the non-players, the fans, talking about the exciting night and saying, I can't believe you're not going to be there, for some kids that had other plans. But just a couple of weeks ago, the talk kind of started. And I had an opportunity. I had Darren Green, number 4, one of the sack leaders in the state of the Kentucky, was there coming into the building. And I had Chase Elmore, Central Hardin quarterback. And I was talking with Chase, and I see Darren walk up. And I said, Chase, have you ever met Darren? And so I called Darren over, and Darren came over. They shook hands, and Darren said, quarterback, right? And Chase said, yeah. He said, hey, nice to meet you. And Chase says, "You one of the sack leaders?" And at that time, he was still #1 in the state in sacks. And he says, "Yeah." And he said, "Well," he said, that's pretty cool." He goes, "Yeah, I plan to get a few more in a few weeks." And Chase kind of laughed. They both kind of laughed and just have a good chuckle about it. And Chase like, "Yeah, can't wait to see it. It's going to be exciting." So, they were both just, even a few weeks ago, kind of just anticipating, what was getting ready to happen. And here they both have made it.
Well, I want to get your pick for the evening here. We have something going on here at Central Hardin High School, a special recognition. Brother Mike Bell, the longtime decades announcer for Central Hardin. He's been the voice of Central Hardin, both football and basketball, the PA announcer, and they're going to honor him this evening here. His family is there on the track with a really nice poster and print, and Mike is here enjoying this, standing just to our right, enjoying that. So Mike's been a big part of Central Hardin and Central Hardin athletics, so they're going to honor him this evening before the game gets started.
Spectrum Communications.
What a great honor. He is definitely an icon when you think about Central Hardin athletics and all that he's contributed, not only just in his volunteering as the PA announcer, but just the love he's poured out to these kids and this community all the way around.
Hardin County Education Community Television, located in Hardin County.
Just give a moment here,
sorry
guys.
Hardin County Schools, airing on Brandenburg, Comcast, Spectrum, and also airing online.
Providing live coverage of local. And please know that Brother Bell, that you will always be the voice of Central Hardin and our #1 Bruin. You can still catch Brother Bell at Bruin basketball and softball games. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Mike Bell.
So they've honored Brother Mike Bell, and right before kickoff, which is about to happen here, I believe we have Logsdon there about ready to kick for the North Hardin Trojans. He's usually a kickoff man. I'm not sure if that's who we have there.
It does look like it's Logsdon.
Okay.
Was he wearing number 17? Yeah, Caden Logsdon is. He's
Caden
out there.
Logsdon, the sophomore, is got it lined up and ready to go. What's your pick for the evening there, Dan?
Man, I don't know. I've had a few people
Put you on the spot.
I've had a few people ask me
I've
that
had a
all
lot of
night
people
long,
ask me.
and I tell you what, it's someone's going to win and someone is not. I want to keep a clean game.
Bouncing kickoff, still loose.
Central Hardin was able to recover it there. Luckily, I do not think they were expecting that. I really think that if it stays clean, everything stays good, healthy all the way through, I think that North Hardin, with the amount of players they have only playing one way, could be the factor at the end of the game. And I think that might be a little bit too much for the Bruins at the end.
I agree. I think North Hardin, certainly, if they can avoid the turnover and avoid some penalty problems, which we've seen them had, they certainly are the favorite. Bruins, however, will have first possession. They'll take over at their own 32-yard line on the right hash. You got Gavin George spread wide to the left. Chase Elmore start under center with Deonko Wilkerson and Kyler Lee behind him. Andrew Ibarra in the wing to the right. Tight end Sean Hay to the left. We're still getting everything set, and this amazing North Hardin front seven is ready to go. We're seeing a four-man front, but their outside linebackers are up tight. They've traded the tight end to the right and wing back going the other direction. They're going to run to their left and just stuff for a 5-yard loss. They were in the backfield before Deonko Wilkerson could get going. That's 48 Isaiah Beasley on the play.
I think was that Jarrell Campbell? Was it 48 Jarrell Campbell?
48 Jarrell Campbell. I'm sorry. 46 is Isaiah Beasley.
Yeah.
So 46 and 48.
I think they were both there actually, Coach. I mean,
Yeah.
so there was about 7 back there really quick. Was noting a little earlier. We were talking earlier in the game. Looks like number 23 Ian Patry is traveling. He's going to go back and forth. Looks like he is trying to find out the side that Gavin George is going to be on, and he's following him.
Well, they got George in the slot this time, which is a little different than what they normally do. Throwing it out toward the sideline, Deonko Wilkerson. Throw is a little high. He's unable to get it. And Ian Patry was there to break it up.
Yeah, great coverage there. They did read that out. Looks like that the Bruins are trying to mix it up a little bit to see what they're going to do in their coverages. And there looked like they almost went down to a man look.
Well, it's gone to a 3rd and 15 already. We got 10:54 to go, and this dominant North Hardin defense, which we really, again, 3 or 4 guys were at the ball by the time Dianco got it on that first down run. It was an interesting call on 2nd down there where they ran sprint out into the boundary, which made it a little tough. 4 wide receivers this time. Elmore looking down the field. He's got a hook route, a curl route. Gavin George could not pull it in. He was about 4 yards short of the first down yardage, but the ball was there, and he couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, it looked like Gavin may have lost his footing just a little bit, kind of wondering how that's going to play into this. But he, stuck his foot down in there trying to make the turn, and he just kind of slipped out from underneath him a little bit.
So a 3 and out on the first series for the Central Hardin Bruins. A big series of downs for the North Hardin defense to get them off the field. It looked like they had a good route and a good throw. As you said, Gavin George probably slipped there. Xander Allen back to punt. The ball is away. It's a good kick. It's deep, but Quayshawn Davis is going to have a great opportunity here. But Ibarra's got a hold of him. Down he goes. Quayshawn Davis is so dangerous. We've seen teams not kick to him because of how good of a return man he is, but Andrew Ibarra made a very sure-looking tackle there.
Yeah, it looked like that. Quayshawn, I don't know if I never looked quick enough to see if he threw his hand up for a fair catch, but it almost kind of seemed like he hesitated in a sense, like he made a fair catch call. And but no, a good thing about Ibarra was there, able to pull him in.
So 1st and 10 for the North Hardin Trojans from their own 28-yard line. Again, Manny Wimberly at the quarterback there, the big sophomore with the strong right arm. He's got trips to his right, and there's a bad snap, and it's bounced up in the air. But Lavelle Wright will just bowl his way forward after getting that ball and get about 4 yards.
Yeah, a little bit of a high snap, but good quick thinking on his feet there. Lavelle Wright able to pull that ball in and pick up yardage. I mean, that's the impressive part there.
So 2nd down and 6 now. Again, high snap went through the hands of Wimberly off his helmet, and Trojans were very fortunate. 4 wide, 2 to each side. It's going to be a draw play. Lavelle Wright straight ahead. He's got big yards. He's going to have about 8 and a first down.
Yeah, pulls up the first down. A big tackle there coming up. Look, Chase Elmore coming up from a safety position to make the tackle. He does not want to have a big night of making tackles. Obviously, that is not the goal for the Bruins.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches for the Bruins are hopeful that they can get him on the ground before Chase is involved here. We've got a bunch formation to the left. Look for a screen out here to the left. That is something that would normally happen, but they're going to give to Lavelle. He's got a lot of room off the right side. Makes Elmore miss, and he has got about a 20-yard pickup. I believe Clay Perry was able to round him up there after a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, it looks like the North Hardin is going to go to their ground and pound game, use their big back, Lavelle Wright, big prospect. I know we got a lot of schools looking at him across not only the state of Kentucky but elsewhere, and he can do some work.
Trips to the right side into the short side of the field. The ball's the right hash on the 38 of the Bruins. Snap is through the hands of Wimberly again. Again, these kinds of errors, and they've got an opportunity to recover, and the Bruins have the ball. Dan, that is the one thing I told people when they asked me to make a pick. I said the Trojans, if everything goes true to form, ought to win, but turnovers and penalties could be the equalizer. We've got our first turnover with 9:21 to go in the first quarter.
Absolutely. Manny's going to go over right now, and Coach is going to tell him, just fall on the ball. That's Manny just being an athlete. He wants to try to make a play. I respect that out of him. But in that case, this type of slippery conditions, you just got to fall on that ball and take your loss.
So in about 5 plays, there were 2 horribly handled snaps. High by the snapper, poorly handled by the quarterback. Wilkerson in motion. The give on the reverse is to Trajan Sanders. He's got space. Trajan with about 9, maybe 8 yards. Big pick up there on the reverse. Again, a lot of upfield movement by the defensive line. They might get trapped a little bit on misdirection.
Absolutely. Given a little bit of that, given that time to develop, if they get their defensive ends flying upfield like they just did, get that kick out block, they got a little something working for them for sure.
So the ball's on the 34-yard line of the Trojans. 2nd and 1 here. Elmore is in the shotgun formation, tight end right, trips to the left, motion across. Sanders on the jet sweep. He gets about a yard, but it's going to be maybe short still. We'll see what the call is on the spot.
Yeah, great job by Michael Loons, number 10, coming up from his position to make the tackle. Trying to get to the edge right there. It's important for your corners and safeties to kind of fly up and cut it off, and he did a great job there.
I know the coaches from Central Hardin told me today that they don't like going sideline to sideline, but they feel like they have to do it to keep the defense honest so they can get what they want, which is straight ahead, right downhill into the teeth of the defense. So we've got our wing formation set to the right here. The give is to Kyler Lee straight ahead, and he's going to get the first down. He's got about 2. He had big 92. I believe that is Dylan Butterworth. He is not on the roster as number 92. But I believe Dylan Butterworth.
Yeah, and I think Dylan did Dylan wear 92 last week?
He did. I believe he wore 92 last week so that they could do some of these kinds of things. So Dylan Butterworth there, the lead blocker, defensive lineman.
Yeah, that was actually something that Chase sat in my office this week and told me they got a little package where they got Butterworth coming in and give a little lead block. Didn't want to give that away too early, but Chase did talk about that with me.
Double wing formation, 1st and 10. Wilkerson motion across. They're going to fake to him and give straight ahead to Kyle Lee. That's just what I'm talking about, Dan. They're going to try to run that jet motion to try to open up the straight ahead running game.
Yeah, I got a little extracurricular right there, a little push in there. Darren Green giving a big push. I think it was 70 for the Bruins there. Caleb Adams, a big push there and knocking him down to the ground. Looked like thought maybe we'd get a flag out of that, but nothing.
4-yard gain for the Bruins, and it'll be 2nd down and 6, and they are inside the Trojan 30-yard line. So we've got deep penetration here into Trojan territory with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. And it's a trips formation to the right, actually one extra, almost a quads formation to the right. They're going to use one of those for blocker. Chase has all kind of pressure in his face. He's got Wilkerson open. Wilkerson slipped again, and down he went. Ball hit him in the chest, but just couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, being chased hard. Jarrell Campbell, number 48. We're gonna hear his name called a lot tonight. Was chasing Chase down from the backside and putting the pressure on him.
Well, he had Jarrell Campbell, Isaiah Beasley in quickly on him, giving, as you said, giving chase. It was number 43 as well.
Viso, yeah, VC Lilo.
Yeah, Vesey Lilo on the pressure as well. So that front 4 with those 3 and Octavius Oxendine, so hard to block. Shotgun, we've got double handoff. Wilkerson has it. Boy, Campbell was in there on the handoff, and so difficult. I think Wilkerson got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1 to bring up 4th down and 7.
Yeah, it looked like the Chase may have done a little flip to flip the ball forward, and Jarrell Campbell had Elmore in his grasp and then let him go smartly, let him go.
I don't think the play called for that. I think he had to throw it to him to get him the ball because of what was happening in the backfield. And that's the problem playing against the Trojans. You've got guys in the backfield beating you up the whole time you're trying to make these plays. So 4th down and 7 here, our first kind of big moment of the game other than the early turnover here. Trips formation to the right. He's looking down the field to the trip side. He's going to be sacked from behind. I believe that is 46. Yep. That's going to be Isaiah Beasley making the sack. And so looking down the field, trying to find an open receiver, nothing there.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of the ball quicker than taking a sack. Obviously, it's 4th down. Not giving up much ground. But he's just got to get rid of the ball a little quicker because the pressure is coming. So far, the Bruin running game having some effect, but not much going in the passing game at this point. And the Trojans will take over 1st and 10 at about the 33-yard line. Wimberly, high snap again. He's got it this time. Lavelle Wright off the right side. Absolutely stuffed. Clay Perry looked like number Dylan Butterworth in on it. Sean Hay. Just a
Mason Trout, I believe, 61 was there as well. So they did not let him get loose that time.
Yeah.
No gain, bringing up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the high snaps are causing the timing of the backfield and the handoffs to be way off. So they really got to get that fixed.
3 receivers to the right. Quick screen to the right. They love that play. A pretty good pickup of about 5 or 6. It was Josh Moore on the reception, And Moore is going to pick up about 6, bringing up a 3rd and 4 for the Trojans. They'll be at about the 39-yard line. They need the 43, 44. 2 wide receivers to each side. Lavelle right behind in a pistol look behind Wimberly.
Yeah, when your corners are playing 7, 8 yards off, I mean, you do that quick screen, you've got room to run. So the Bruins are going to have to tighten up on that when they see the quick screen coming.
Right set to the left now. Almost missed the snap again. Wright's got it. He's got a first down. Just a good open space to the left side of the Bruin defense.
Another hard run by him. The little delay, seemed like they took a little half-step delay just to let it open up.
I think Wimberly caught the back half of that football on that snap. 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 46-yard line. Again, 2 wide receivers each side. A low snap again. Wimberly's going to break contain to the right. Fire, and I believe it's intercepted. And they're calling it. There it is. Play by Gavin George. His 9th interception on the season and a 2nd turnover to stall what the Trojans had going.
Yeah, and it's huge. I mean, it continued to make turnovers, especially in this side of the field, giving the Bruins the ball. This one lands himself right on the 50. They have to stop the turnovers. They can't do that. They move the ball, and then, boom, they give the ball right back.
Well, that's one of the frustrating things about the Trojans and about watching them. They're so good, and yet they make so many mistakes, and it's really difficult sometimes to watch. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Double wing formation. The give is going to be to Deonka Wilkerson. Stop for a 6-yard loss. Michael Lunds in the backfield.
Yeah, great play again. You got Campbell up there just disrupting even the handoff. I mean, he is in Elmore's face before he can get rid of it. And then Deonka has nowhere to go because Lunds is right there in his face.
So I would say, Dan, anything going sideways is a horrible idea against this defense, and that has proven true to this point. Straight ahead, the Bruins have gained some yards. Sideways, sideline to sideline, they're losing yards at a quick rate.
Yeah, they need a little bit of off-tackle play where they're hitting it, where they're getting those defensive ends upfield just a little bit. If they can let that happen, get underneath some of those off-tackle plays, they might be able to bust something.
Gavin George set far to the right, play action pass. Under pressure again, looking downfield to Deonka Wilkerson. The ball is intercepted. Number 25, I believe that's Jordan Lovett making the interception there, and he will return the ball back inside Bruin territory. And so the turnover bug going back in the other direction, and this is the difference in the game. I knew turnovers would be the thing, and we've already seen 3 in the first 8.5 minutes of action.
Yeah, I don't really like the choice where Elmore went with that ball. If he's going to throw the ball up, I think his choice has got to be to Gavin George. Deonka is, just a little smaller target, obviously, and Gavin George has got to be able to try to go make some plays for him.
Well, you mentioned pregame. Deonka didn't play last week. Does he look a little hobbled to you?
Yeah, I think that they said that Deonka's still, little hobbled. He's definitely been treating it and taking care of it. I know HMH Sports Medicine has been working on him this week, but he does not look like he's 100%.
Lavelle Wright just off the right side for about 7 or 8 yards there as well. And so North Hardin fired up again with the ball back and deep in Bruin territory. They'll have the ball at the Bruin 36-yard line, 2nd and 4 for the Trojans here. 2 wide receivers to each side. It looks like Josh Moore wide to the right. Marcus Harris to the bottom of the screen to the left. Checking the wristbands. Getting the call. Wimberly. Give to Lavelle Wright. He cuts immediately to the right. He's got a lot of room to the right and good cut, good vision. He's got about 6 more.
Yeah, the nice thing about what the Trojans have going, they have basically the zone blocking scheme. Give the ball to the running back, let him pick and choose and find his hole. So he saw something there early and made that cut quickly.
2:20 and counting here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 Trojans from the 30-yard line of the Bruins. 4-man front for the Bruins. The give is to Lavelle Wright. He's finding the right side. He's going to be stacked up there. Sean Hay, Dylan Butterworth, and more on the stop.
Yeah, trying to run a little little trap play there at number 58 for the Trojans. Jackson Cook on the kick out and trying to make that block, but he was stood up, and I think that was Ibarra that may have even came up on that play to stick it.
The 2 wide receivers to each side, ball on the right hash, 2nd and 7 from the 27-yard line. Wimberly directing traffic. Lavelle Wright going to his left. Wimberly looking downfield, under pressure. Clay Perry was there. Wimberly breaking up the middle, and he'll pick up about 5 or 6 more. He'll bring up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, a little short there on it. Dylan Butterworth, number 92, was in the backfield, putting his hands up. Almost looked like he was trying to jump to try to get Wimberly. You got to stay on your feet. Continue to put pressure on him. Obviously, that Wimberly's a little bit quicker than Butterworth, but good pressure by him for sure.
So the Trojans need the 20-yard line for a first down. They're on the 23. It's a short 3 yards. Again, 2 wide receivers to each side. 3 deep look on the defensive side. Wimberly's going to keep it himself. It's really close. It looked like a confusion in the backfield, and Wimberly just took it himself around the right side, and it's really close.
It's really close. It looks like that they may even measure this. Oh, they're calling 4th down. Right now, yeah, you're right. There was some confusion for sure because Lavelle never moved. You looked like that he was supposed to get the ball, and then Wimberly took off on the other side, and Isaiah just kind of Lavelle started just kind of watching him, seeing where he was going.
So 4th and inches here, and the clock is just running down. We may see the end of the first quarter. This has gone by in a flash, and no, that's what's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure out what's going on here in a minute. It looked like they had blown the whistle before the quarter ended there.
Timeout.
It was a timeout in North Hardin with about 4 seconds to go in the quarter. So we will still have the another snap here in the first quarter. This is a Hardin County Educational and a community television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville, online at physicaltherapyky.com. We'll have more from our sponsors and about our sponsors when we go to the quarter, but the officials have noted we need 7 seconds back on the clock. 4th down and inches, a huge play here to end the first quarter. And we'll see if, as it looks like, they've gone to their jumbo package with Octavius Oxendine and Jarrell Campbell in the backfield. Be Lavelle Wright taking the snap in the shotgun. He'll get, it's fumbled again, but he picks it up and runs over a man for a first down. Wow. He's still on his feet. They're going to drag him out of bounds after about a 10-yard gain.
Wow, that ball almost looked like it snapped. It bounced off the ground back into his hands. Luckily for him to be able to take it, and then he was like shot out of a cannon as he made a hit towards the line of scrimmage and moved the pile.
Bullet dodged by the Trojans there, and the Bruins missed an opportunity with another mishandled snap.
Yeah. Absolutely, Paul, and that's something when you do that and you go into that type of package, Manny is now taking the snap several times, and so he's getting used to it, but now someone else comes and takes a snap, and you never know where it's going to go.
Again, our sponsors, Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties. For all your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point, or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. So with the second quarter about to get underway here, we have a 0-0 football game, and honestly, Dan, I'm kind of seeing maybe what I expected. The Trojans making some early errors, kind of overcoming those, and they're doing it because of the strength of that defense. That defense has not given up really anything. The Bruins are struggling to convert for first downs. I think the Bruins could get something going if they could just convert some first downs. But they are under so much pressure from that front seven. As I said, that front seven is the best front seven I've seen in many years. I can only think of 2 or 3 better in my 23 years of coaching.
Right, yeah. They're really good. There's not a weakness on that front seven at all.
Wimberly throwing the screen out to Harris, and that ball bounces on the way there. Again, a wet night and a long throw from the right hash out to the left hash, and couldn't get it there.
No, and I think he may have had a little something working. He had the blocks out front. But, yeah, that is a long throw. It is a tougher throw than people think when you're throwing through the long side of the field.
So 2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line. They are on the right hash. Again, trips formation to the left. I would expect to see some sort of a crosser here on a pass, but you got to expect they're going to give it to Lavelle because he's been so successful on this drive, and the give is straight ahead to Lavelle Wright. The Bruins are there and ready to make the play. It looked like Andrew Ibarra off the edge on a blitz to get in and make the tackle.
Yeah, it was a good job there coming in and hitting Lavelle in the backfield.
It was actually 22, not 21. 22 Trent Ferguson, not 21 Andrew Ibarra. So Ferguson getting in there and making a play. 2 receivers to each side on 3rd and 8 now. Bruins look like they're in a straight man look, maybe going to bring the blitz. Lavelle Wright is to the left of Manny Wimberly. The snap is a good one this time. We've got pressure on Wimberly. He dumps it straight ahead to Lavelle Wright, and Lavelle is going to get into the end zone. Have you seen a signal?
It was a touchdown. I see.
Nobody giving a signal, but they've called it a touchdown, and this is so interesting, Dan. I had a conversation with the defensive coordinator for the Bruins today, Coach Jackson. I said, one thing that's really hard to take care of is when everything breaks down and Lavelle just slips out. And that's exactly what happened. He just slipped out of the backfield, and they dumped it to him.
Yeah, it was a really good job by Wimberly finding him and just getting that ball quickly to him because, you put the ball in his hand, he's going to be able to make something happen. The Bruins had pressure on. They were doing a really good job of that, but they just got to be able to get to him and bring Wimberly down without him getting the ball out.
It's man cover as well, Dan. Somebody's assigned to Lavelle Wright. He shouldn't leak out and be standing there by himself.
Right.
So that's a missed assignment there. So Caden Logston knocks it through, and we've got a 7-0 ball game as the Trojans take advantage of the Central Hardin turnover. The interception thrown back down at the other end, and they'll get 7 points out of it. And the Bruins have gotten a couple turnovers and haven't been able to take advantage of that. So, again, a great job by the North Hardin defense to keep points off the board.
Yeah, Central Hardin's going to have to try to find something that's working for them to be able to, to get the ball down the field. In the past, we've seen them be able to make the big play, to move the ball quickly down the field. Haven't seen them take a shot. I think part of the reason is I don't think Chase Elmore has the time to take the big shot down the field.
It's going to be tough, and with Jordan Lovett back there at free safety, it's going to be a difficult thing to get it where he wants the football. Well, they've had a couple of opportunities. Gavin George dropped one, Deonka Wilkerson. Both of them slipped and fell on plays that would have been good gains. But it'll be Caden Logston ready to kick off. Gavin George, Deonka Wilkerson back, but they're going to hit it low and have it bounce. It's picked up well straight ahead the Bruins. And, again, the ball will go to about to the 36-yard line. May have been – who that is, Landon Barnes, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Or Hunter Mitchell.
Nolan Goodman. I think it's Nolan Goodman, number 20, that had the football.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So, obviously the Trojans have recognized the strength again as the Bruins. We've seen that in a few other weeks, not kick it deep to their weapons. And so they've taken their chances and say, hey, we'll just kick it here short. Our defense is good enough. We'll let you start with the ball in the 35 or so, and we'll just stop you. So we'll see if the Bruins can't put something together here.
So Wilkerson and George to the left. Shotgun snap. Elmore looking down the field. He's trying to break upfield in the pocket, step up in the pocket. There's nothing there, Dan.
No, he's, as soon as he starts to see it, he's got the pressure coming on the outside. Double O, as I call him, Octavius Oxenai was putting the pressure on, so he doesn't want to go that way and decides to go the opposite way. Well, he goes that way, and here is Darren Green, Jarrell Campbell, Isaiah Beasley. There's always somebody else there.
So it'll bring up a 2nd and 12 on the 2-yard loss. It is a sack. Fortunately, stepping up in the pocket, you don't lose as much when you try to run away and end up with a 10 to 15-yard loss. So it'll be 2nd and 12 with 10:30 to go in the half here. And again, he's going to have to get it out of his hands quick. They're going to have to find something open. Looks like a 3-deep look, and blitz coming. Big pressure. Elmore steps up this time. He's got Gavin George open. Gavin catches it for about a 10-yard gain. They'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, it looks like it's really close here. Are they calling 3rd down?
He's about a yard short, about 11-yard gain, maybe.
No, it's first down.
Oh, they're gonna make it. I'm sorry, they're gonna make it first down. So a 12-yard gain exactly. He's right to the line to gain. The Bruins have the ball at their 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, good job there of Elmore stepping up again into the pocket. As he steps up into the pocket, he's able to see downfield a little bit and find his big receiver, Gavin George.
Key to that, obviously, is those offensive linemen staying with their blocks, and he can step up past the pressure. So looks like a 5-man rush coming. Give is up inside, and he has just swallowed 46. I believe that's Beasley getting – not Sanders. I believe it was Kyler Lee.
Yeah, I think it was Kyler Lee typically taking the ball in there in that formation. That was not typical of Kyler. Usually we see him hitting the hole really hard and fast, but he's getting that ball and he's seeing those white jerseys really quick.
And Kyler's usually pushing the pile. And to be a 2-yard loss there on that to bring up 2nd and 12 is not the norm when you're giving the ball to your big fullback. Double wing, no, ring to the right, that is. Sean Hay, tight end to the left. Play action look, stepping up again is Elmore looking deep down the field into double coverage. Gavin George there could not come up with it. He's got Ian Patry and Jordan Lovett right on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing that ball in. That again, that's the place that he typically wants to throw it. Gavin had his hands on it. Had an opportunity to go get it, but great coverage there by Patry and Lovett on the double team.
So a tough ball to catch. It did hit him in the hands, but it's a little wet tonight, and it's very difficult when you're actually got 2 guys playing in the same space you are as far as they can also jump. He's usually jumping over everyone by about a foot. Not in this case. So, again, a 3-deep look actually a 2-deep look this time for the Trojans. 4-man front. They're just bringing 4, and Beasley right away. But there's a screen pass to Wilkerson, and he just falls right over his blocker. He had an opportunity for a big play.
Yeah, you had looks like that you had Mason Trout out there leading the block, and he kind of gets caught up a little bit with Loons, and Dianco just can't get over top of it. Just bad spacing really right there. He just didn't have the room to get around it.
So a great call. They had the screen pass called to take advantage of the pressure. And again, it looked like he wanted to break outside. If he'd gone straight ahead, Dianco probably had 8 or 10 yards, but he wanted to get outside and couldn't get there. Xander Allen on to punt. He's going to kick it away, and that is not going to get much yardage for the Bruins.
Yeah,
it's about a 20-yard kick, maybe 18-yard kick, and Trojans are going to take over at about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, Xander did not handle the snap as he wanted to. He saw a little pressure come from the outside, and I think he just kind of tried to get rid of it a little bit too quick. I think he had some time, but I think he got just a little skittish by seeing the white jersey coming from the outside.
So the Trojans will have decent field position here. Again, starting at their own 32 on the right hash. Again, it's Wimberly and Wright in the backfield. Got Cameron Smith to the right. I believe Harrison Moore out to the left. It is trips to the left. A little bit of movement early. Number 58 wanted to pull from his guard position, and that was a little bit early.
Yeah, they're trying to do a little movement with their guard on some of those pulls. On some of that the zone blocking scheme they got, and then they're doing a little pull to try to help Lavelle find a little bit of a seam. And, yeah, number 58 looks like Jackson Cook is just getting a little bit excited about that play.
So the big guys up front having some success for the Trojans to give Lavelle Wright some space. It's 1st and 15 now. And we'll see what they're going to do here. They're going to throw the screen to Moore, and Moore's going to go down immediately. He had to go down to catch the football. It'd be better if you drop it in that case.
Well, you know, I don't know. That ball looks like it was behind him.
It was
so
low and behind.
Yeah, so he's got to catch the ball in that sense. If not, it's a fumble. It's a fumble. So,
right,
yeah, it's a heads-up play for sure.
Yes.
But that's not the catch you want in the negative direction. He's hurting his stats a little bit for sure.
Well, it's going to be about a 3rd and 21 from the 21-yard line. 2 wide receivers to each side. It's kind of a 4-deep umbrella look from the Bruins. They're going to be dropping into a zone look here.
Another whistle.
Flags again.
False start again, and this is between the fumble, the interception, now the penalties here on this particular drive for the Trojans. This is where they start to shoot themselves in the foot when they've, in a sense, had the control of the offensive side of the ball.
So 3rd and 26. The Bruins again look like they're in a 4-deep shell kind of coverage here. Going to try to keep everything in front of them and tackle it. Motion from Cameron Smith. And a flag again.
False start again.
Someone's having a hard time sitting in their stance right now and hasn't figured out. I didn't see who it was. Did you, Dan?
No, I believe it's one of the receivers, and it may be the receiver on that side, the far sideline from us right now, because the flag is coming from that official.
Well, 8 Marcus Harris is over there. I'm not sure who else they've got in the slot there. Maybe the other Moore. Snap is low, almost fumbled again. Looking deep down the field is Wimberly. Ball's thrown and caught, but tackled right away. On a 3rd and 31, they weren't going to get it. Pick up about 15 yards. And
yeah, nice play on a 1st and 10, picking up a 15, but when it's
I guess
3rd and 31.
I guess it was 2nd and 31
okay.
Because of the penalty situations. They were not changing the downs.
Okay. Well, there's 3rd and 20.
3rd and 20 now, 6:38 to go in the first half. Wimberly looking down the field. He's looking to his right now, just scrambling. Sean Hay in pursuit. Wimberly's going to be run out of bounds after about a 7 or 8 yard gain. Yeah, that'll bring up a 4th and long, and the Trojan punt team, you'd expect to see them coming onto the field. Punt return team coming on for the Bruins.
Yeah, so the Bruins are able to put a stop there. Was not a 3 and out, but maybe like a 6, 7, or 8 and out. But we're able to keep the Trojans from moving in the positive direction for sure after we call the botched punt from Xander Allen.
So the 6 or 7 plays, they actually did not get a first down, but a number of penalties, again, shooting themselves in the foot there.
Oh,
nearly a block punt there. It was 32 punting for the North Hardin Trojans, and the ball will bounce after about a 30-yard punt. Number 32 is Alex White, the punter, and they've had issues. We've seen a couple against John Hardin and Meade County of bad snaps on the punts lead to some issues, but Alex White was able to get that one away.
Yeah, and that was number 62, Noah Gettler. I don't know if that was a called set play for him to try to make the block there, but he's getting back there and had a great shot at it, and the Bruins get the ball in great field position.
Well, he did a good job. He didn't quite get the ball, but he did not run into the punter either, so good idea there. Wing T formation to the left. Straight ahead to the fullback, and it's Darren Green, number 4, all over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's sniffing that play out. Great linebackers doing a really good job of one of the leaders in the state as far as sacks go and tackles. Doing a great job of sniffing that play out.
So a 2-yard gain by Kyler Lee on the fullback trap, straight up the middle there. The trap block was effective, but the linebacker was unblocked and came straight downhill to make the play. 2-yard gain, so 2nd down and 8 for the Bruins. Clay Perry is going to set himself to the right side. Gavin George wide to the right. Play action look, stepping up is Elmore. He's got a little bit of time and space. He's got Gavin George on the right side for a big pickup. Pickup of about 15 to 16 yards. First down, Bruins.
Yeah, great job there on the front line. Number 61, Mason Trout, coming and protecting his play side of his quarterback there, allowing Chase to step up into the pocket to find Gavin George downfield.
So if they can give him that kind of space, if they can use the aggressiveness of that rush from the Trojans and push them past the quarterback, he can have some time. He can step up in the pocket and throw the football as long as they're not right in his face immediately. 1st and 10 from the Trojan 42-yard line. Sean Hay will trade sides. Motion, fake toss, give back inside to Trajan Sanders. He had a lot of space and slipped and fell.
Yeah, Trajan just, I think, trying to make that cut there. I'm not sure if he stepped on somebody's heel or did something, but was tripped up right there near Octavius Oxendine. I guess he would probably be the person credited with that tackle, but it was really the grass.
As an offensive coach at points in my coaching career, one of the things I hate is on a rainy night to watch officials roll the ball around on the ground. He dropped it, rolls around. It's going to be soaked now, and there was no reason for that to happen. So we'll see if Chase Elmore has any trouble handling the football here. 2nd and 9 for the Bruins. Wing formation to the left. Belly 2 given to Wilkerson. He's trying to outrun the Trojans, and he does. He's got space outside and gets out about at the 25-yard line, a 15-yard gain for Dianco.
Great run by Dianco Wilkerson on that one. A big saving tackle by number 25, Jordan Lovett, coming up and making the play. I mean, hey, we talked earlier. I thought that Dianco was a little hobbled up by his ankle. On that play, he looks like he's doing just fine.
So you've got a very fast defense, but now you see the specialness of Dianco Wilkerson, able to outrun 10 Michael Luntz, 43 Vesey Lilo. A number of those front 7 guys couldn't get to him. Big play, 1st and 10 Bruins on the march. Toss sweep to Trajan Sanders. That's just not going to happen. Number 20 for North Hardin.
Yeah, that's Jordan Moore.
Jordan Moore, and he was the one on the outside on offense that may have been having some problems getting set, but he did a great job there.
Yeah, it looks like that we were supposed to try to get that the Bruins trying to get that block down on him from the wing position, and just not able to make that block. And he's able to get into the backfield and put a big stop on the Bruins.
So Jordan Moore, number 20 for the Trojans, is their 2nd leading interceptor. He has 5 interceptions on the season, so he's been a really disruptive force himself at that corner position. 2nd and long now. Play action, roll out. Deep down the field, Andrew Ibarra's open, could not come down with it. Number 3 for the Trojans.
Micah Parms.
Micah Parms breaking that one up, staying with it. Ibarra had a step on him.
Yeah, he had the step on him for sure. That play definitely took some time to develop as Chase is rolling here to his left and having to then turn and set his feet to make that nice throw. And it was a good throw. He put it out there, but a good job by number 3, Micah Parms, coming in there late, just kind of getting his hand up there and keeping it from Ibarra for the sure-handed touchdown.
Yeah, it's got to be thrown a little earlier to keep that from happening. And again, but that backside post is something that you'll see often from the Bruins. Trips formation to the right. Elmore looking down the field on 3rd and 15. It's going to be another screen, this time to Kyler Lee. Kyler's got some space and some blockers. Looks like he's going to be 5 yards short. Good 10-yard pickup on that play.
Yeah,
but
good.
They'll come up short.
Yeah, good run. Screen. Again, the Bruins using what the Trojans do best, get upfield, using that against them in the screen game. A great job in the case of defensively. Number 4, Darren Green, getting side to side there, following the play and making the tackle on Kyler Lee.
So Evan Jones has come on. It looks like on 4th down, the Bruins are going to kick the ball. Ball's at the 28, a 38-yard field goal attempt. Evan Jones has plenty of leg, but this is an awful angle from that left hash. Snap is down. The kick is up. It looks way left. Not even close. Again, a very difficult angle to kick that from. I knew that was going to be a problem, but missed opportunity.
Yeah, in that case, you definitely want the ball in the other hash. 4th and 5. They were making the move. 2.5 minutes left to go in the half. I don't know. Maybe go for it. Maybe just give it a shot. Let your offense continue to move the ball.
Again, we can be great second guessers. We're not standing down the sideline, but I was shaking my head at the time as well, hoping that we might see a 4th down attempt there from the offense, trying to pick that up and keep pace here. 2:31 to go. The Trojans will take over at the 20-yard line. And quick throw to the left, and it's going to be about a 14-yard gain. It's number 88, Jalen Moore on the catch. 1st down Trojans.
Yeah, and this is the part now where the Bruins have to be careful. With just a little over 2 minutes left to go, the Trojans can strike quickly, and they could be looking at a 14-point deficit going into halftime.
I'd look for a timeout if I were the Bruins. Kind of, you're a little deflated. You didn't get the score you wanted. And you're right. The Trojans can be really aggressive right here with 2:23 to go in the half. Bad snap. Great job handling it by Wimberly this time. Just over the middle. Intercepted. Big play by Chase Elmore. The ball came off the hands of Cameron Smith. Again, maybe a slick ball, a difficult catch, and just bounces right into the hands of Chase Elmore. Great catch.
Yeah, Chase Elmore had to go down low, and he almost kind of slides into that ball to make that interception. And that's just one of those unlucky bounces for the Trojans that ends up being a lucky bounce there in a case for the Bruins.
So we've seen, again, guys struggle in handling the ball, whether it's quarterback, whether it's running back, receivers struggling to catch the football. We've seen all kinds of issues out here. We haven't seen a lot of rain this year, and so they haven't had these conditions in practice or otherwise really very much. Trips formation to the left with a tight slot there as well. 4 there. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, this official on the far side, he is the one that has thrown the flags that we've been seeing. In this case now, he's calling offsides on the Trojans. So we've got somebody in the neutral zone, I guess.
It's hard to really fathom what they're doing. I mean, you're just lining up offsides.
Mm-hmm.
Guys offsides 3 plays in a row on the offensive end. Again, we just, this habit that the Trojans have of shooting themselves in the foot, being their own worst enemy, is going to bite them at some point. 1st and 5 now for the Bruins. Double wing formation. Sanders in motion. There's a fumbled snap. Looks like the Bruins have jumped on it, but again, the wet football is causing a lot of trouble on the field tonight.
Elmore recovers the football.
Yeah, luckily able to recover it on that. But I'm just, you watch, this is a perfect angle for us right here, Coach, where we're sitting here watching the ball in front of us, and I'm watching from the snap to the takeoff from Beasley and Campbell there in the middle, and it is so quick. I mean, as former defensive coach, we would just watch the ball, don't listen to your cadence. You got to be deaf up there, and these guys have done a great job of eye on the ball and then moving on sync with it.
So on the 48 of the Trojans, 2nd and 6, stuffed in the backfield, but it's pushed ahead for a couple yards. It was 48, Jarrell Campbell. Like you said, he was on the running back before the running back got to the heels of the offensive lineman.
Yeah, he is almost in the backfield before the offensive line can get out of their stance. That is how quick he is, and that is a huge weapon.
This is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. So the Bruins will take a timeout on 3rd and 4 from the Trojan 46-yard line. Throwing it or running it here?
I think you got to throw it. They have not been able to get a lot going with their run game. The only thing that we have seen to be working is the pass. So I think they're throwing the ball.
A big call here, and again, with 1:23 to go in the half, maybe not the spot where you go for it. But again, with just 4 yards and 2 downs to pick it up, you'd almost expect the Bruins to be doing that. We've got Elmore in the shotgun formation. He's going to look to throw it over the middle. No, it's just to the outside to Sean Hay. It looked like he double clutched it, wanted to throw it over the middle.
Yeah, it looked like he did. He tried to pull it back in. I don't know if the ball was wet or if it was that he made a second guess at it, but he had the receivers were there. He wouldn't have received the first down, to Sean Hay if he would have made that ball. It looked like he second guessed himself.
Looked like Mason Thompson running a slant route that he looked at first coming inside. For some reason didn't like it. Maybe we had a linebacker dropping underneath it, but that'll bring on Xander Allen to punt. And so the Bruins unable to take advantage of 3 North Hardin Trojan turnovers in the first half. Allen will get the snap. He's going to get it away. It's a very good kick this time. This one is absolutely killed, and it's going to go into the end zone. And the Trojans will get it at the 20 with 1:11 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, much better snap and punt for Xander Allen to handle. Probably just about 3 or 4 yards deeper than he wanted it to go.
So much better execution there. And the Trojans will take over. 1:11 to go. You don't love that if you're the Trojans. You may not be totally ready to go all out trying to pick something up, but it's plenty of time to make something happen here for the Trojans. Trips formation to the right. Wimberly's going to take the snap. He's going to give to Lavelle Wright. Lavelle off the right side, cutting it back to the left, and about 4-yard gain.
Yeah, I would kind of see the Trojans just keeping the ball on the ground at this point and just kind of ground out this last minute of the half.
Again, trips formation to the right. 50 seconds to go in the half. Two deep look for the Bruins. It's going to be a draw play again. And again, it's going nowhere. Stacked up by Kyler Lee, Clay Perry, Mason Trout, and more. And so timeout called now by the Bruins. 3rd and 6 here. And they'll get it back maybe if they can get one more stop here with a few seconds remaining. At least make North Hardin punt the ball, which they have struggled to do at times this year. And so that's the point here. Maybe not that they think they can make a long drive with 20 seconds or so, but maybe they can make something good happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got offense, you have defense, you have special teams. I mean, it's another component of the game, and absolutely, when you see a weakness within a team, and I think that obviously even the Trojans recognize that as one of their weaknesses, that you got to try to exploit it at some point.
So 35 seconds remaining in the half. 3rd down and 4, we're going to call it. It's almost 5, kind of a long 4. Trojans will come back. We'll see how aggressive the Trojans are here. Obviously, they'd like to pick this up. They don't want to send the punt team out. Manny Wimberly will have Lavelle Wright set to his left side. Trips formation to the right. Josh Moore out wide. Give to Lavelle Wright. Looks like he's going to be stopped short of it. I would expect to see a Bruin timeout here. And they will call timeout with 30 seconds to go in the half. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapy.com. Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties. For all your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank, 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point, or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. And Dan, looks like the Trojans have an injured player.
Yeah, it looks like number 73 has been playing right tackle for him. Palu Tua is walking off, and it does not look.
Yeah, he's needing help.
It's either his knee or his ankle. He's a big guy, but he's got a couple guys helping him off the field. Hopefully he's okay and able to return.
Well, the Trojans will need him. They've done a good job in giving Lavelle Wright opportunity to run. But here's Alex White on for the Trojans to punt. Trojans pointing out who their responsibilities are as far as blocking. Snap is there. He's going to get it away without any trouble. And the ball will roll harmlessly to the ground at about the 37-yard line of the Bruins.
Yeah, the ball almost looked like that it hit number 19 for the Trojans on the way down, but I guess it did not. I was thinking it might have even touched him at that point. But no, the ball is down. Decent field position. 22 seconds left to go.
I think, as you saw, the Bruins had 9 guys on the line of scrimmage there, and they were going after that kick, and I think that was the whole point of that. You did see the snap was a floater. It was barely getting back there, but Alex White did a great job of catching and kicking and getting it out of there as the rain continues to fall tonight. Quads formation to the right. That's where Elmore's looking. He's going to get it out quick to Gavin George, who's got a little space. He's running sideways. That's not really a good idea. He's going to get out of bounds after a minimal gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, it almost looked like that Gavin was looking to see about doing like a pitch or do something.
Sheesh, don't do that.
Yeah, do not do that at all. Yeah, it's tough to run away from the Trojans. They got a lot of speed defensively.
best chance is straight ahead and upfield as much as you can. He did get out of bounds, which will save the clock and give the Bruins another play. It's actually a gain of just 5 yards. They're at the 42-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, tight end and wing to the left, 4-man front, and a big blitz coming from Darren Green. Elmore stepping up. He gets it to Wilkerson. Wilkerson will run out of bounds with the 7 seconds to go. He gains maybe 2, bringing up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it's a lot of east and west right now, and this opportunity to try to get some points before the half. He's just not able to get the ball downfield to his big target, number 3, Gavin George.
Well, you hope, if you're on the Bruins sideline, that this is just creating some momentum, some rhythm, because they've missed a lot of opportunities in the passing game. They've hit a few, but there hasn't been a whole lot of effectiveness in that passing game.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. So yeah, getting some of that down, getting some good vibes for yourself walking in halftime is a great idea.
Gavin George wide to the left, trips formation to the right. Elmore's on the right hash. He's going to step up again, but there's Octavius Oxendine. Got a little issue back here behind the play where Logan Green, the guard for the Bruins, had his helmet knocked off and did not like what was going on back there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he lost his helmet there. He is definitely not happy. One of the senior leaders for the Bruins.
And that's the half. So 1 half of action in this Hardin County tilt is in the books. It's the visiting North Hardin Trojans 7, the host Central Hardin Bruins 0. This is an HCEC-TV student production division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. This is Paul Gray alongside Dan Robbins. We'll come back before the second half to give our thoughts going into this exciting and important second half of action.
My name's Tim Mattingly. I'm the head football coach here at Central Hardin. I'm starting my 6th season as the head football coach here. Some of our strengths at this point of the season, of course it is early on in the season, but our ability to throw the football down the field, it will help open up other parts of our offense, and defensively, just returning a lot of players on defenses from last year's team is also a big plus for us. Some of our players this year that you guys need to keep an eye on. We have several, but Deonko Wilkerson he's a game changer because of his speed and quickness. Gavin George, his ability to stretch the field with our passing game is really tremendous this year. And having Chase Elmore back from his injury last year, and the ability to throw the ball and see the field so well, those guys are definitely big time players for us this year. Sean Hayes, a good receiver as well, and a good blocker at tight end. And then defensively, Dylan Butterworth up front on our defensive line really kind of solidifies our D-line up there. But those guys are all seniors, and we have several key players that they're going to make big plays for us. Some surprises, pleasant surprises for us this year, again, are having Chase back and him being full strength at quarterback really, again, has opened up our offense and given us some ability to do things that we were not able to do last year, which was throw the football with some very good accuracy, and again, just open up our offense with that part of our game. We just try to take it one game at a time. We try to look at every opponent with the same type of effort and attitude, and just really prepare for each team. We try not to look ahead, but we hopefully this year the playoffs are different. So really, your regular season, you just kind of seed yourself for the playoffs. So hopefully we have a good seeding that will allow us to have some home playoff games, and advance to the playoffs is one of our big goals. We do return a lot of players on defense, but our offensive line is almost brand new from last year. So we lost all but one starter on our offensive line. But they are really coming along, and I've been very very pleasantly surprised and pleased with their progress. They just got to continue to grow and make progress throughout the season. District and region, again, the playoff format's changed this year according to the KHSAA, so our first 2 rounds we will play within our district again. So we could very easily be playing a Meade or a North Hardin or a Barron County shortly after we just played them a few games ago. So that's going to be different. It's something they did several years ago, and they've come back to it. So, you know, it maybe allows you to, if you don't get a win in the regular season, you know, gives you a chance to play them again and hopefully make some adjustments and changes, and you know, maybe you can come out with a victory. And you really got to really just focus on that part of it. Even if you don't win a regular season game versus a district opponent, you're going to get another chance in the playoffs. I really think this could be a outstanding season for us. If we continue to grow and progress weekly, we can't become stagnant. We got to make sure we clean up some of our penalties that we had in game 1, so we got to improve that, especially the stupid penalties, the ones that really, you know, you shoot yourself in the foot. So if we can correct those mistakes and just continue to grow and progress, make progress, you know, week in and week out, I feel like we'll be in a good position come playoff time.
Hi, my name is Gavin George, and I play football. I am number 3. I play wide receiver and defensive back for the Central Hardin Bruins. My strengths in this point of the season, definitely like my size, definitely, because you know most defensive backs aren't that tall at all, and especially in high school, you know most of them are under 6 foot, and you know me at 6'3", 6'4", you know that's definitely a big height advantage, and you know, I have great route running, and my hands, I don't drop any passes. I don't drop balls, you know, that's not what I do. Teammates that are definitely going to be a big factor for the team this year. To be honest, it's going to be everybody, but, you know, like Chase, you know, it sucks what happened to him last year, you know, with the injuries and all that. So, you know, this year, he's definitely going to have a breakout year. We're definitely going to need him. He's going to be amazing. He's going to lead us, you know, in the right direction. And Dianco, you know, everybody knows how, you know, athletic and good he is. You know, he's going to be a big factor too. And Sean Hay, he's good. He's a great tight end. He's definitely a big size too. He can catch, and you know, you saw that in game 1. He caught and you know, knocking people over and stuff. But and our line, you know, that's the biggest thing. They don't get enough, you know, glory and what they deserve. They deserve a lot. You know, the line, they protect Chase, give Chase time to, you know, make plays, able to read the field in time, and it's just overall, it's a team effort. And then, you know, on defense, you know, I think Kyler Lee, he's one of our best. He's our best defensive player. I think he's a real good linebacker, and he's making big plays. And I just think everybody on the team is going to contribute in a great way. And you know, at the end of the day, it's a team effort. To be honest with you, there isn't really any surprises. You know, because everybody just knows Central from last season. We didn't have our whole team together, but you know, through when we did have Chase last year, and then in the spring and throughout this summer, I knew everybody knew what we had, but you know, it was just within us. Nobody else really knew what we had. So I think it might be a surprise maybe to other people, but I mean, it shouldn't be. I mean, we have so many great talent on the team, and we all work together and make great things happen. So for me, I don't think this isn't a surprise. This is what's expected from me, what we're doing. My personal goals for the team this year, not drop any passes. Any passes my way, don't drop any, because you know that's number one thing for a receiver is, you know, if a ball's gonna be thrown to you, you gotta make the catch. Like, you know, there ain't no other way around it. And you know, make great blocks this year. You know, give, you know, Dianco and Kyle or Trajan, whoever has the ball, you know, make good blocks for them so they can, you know, get a chance to make open field runs and score touchdowns. But personal goals, to be honest with you, personal goals this year, I want to put up, say, at least 15 touchdowns this year. I want to put up a little over 1,000 yards receiving. Definitely the big difference this year from, you know, teams that we played last year is basically like we're totally different. Like last year when we played North, you know, it sucked. You know, we got blew out, but you gotta think we didn't have Chase. You know, when we have Chase, we're totally different. Totally different. I mean, you know, everybody saw it already on game one, what we did with everybody there. So you got to think, you know, playing North last year and, you know, in the district championship, you know, we was already at our fourth or fifth quarterback. And I didn't play because, you know, I pulled my hip flexor. So, you know, we didn't have our whole team. You know, it was just a hard situation because we were just throwing people back in different positions. You know, they didn't get many reps, and it's the district championship. And you know, North is, you know, they're good. They're good. So you know, it sucked that we was in that situation. But you know, this year, you know, that's, you know, one of the main things everybody, you know, is hoping everybody stays healthy and good, so we can go in every game and be, you know, ready. But I think, you know, that's the biggest difference this year is, you know, is we're all together. So hopefully we stay healthy and we're all together. I'll take my chance with anybody, because it's going to be hard to stop us because, you know, we're not a one-dimension team. Definitely not. We can, I mean, obviously you've seen that we can throw the ball from game one. You know, when we can do that way more, we're going to have way more passing yards than that. And then, you know, once everybody starts spreading out for, you know, defending the pass, then you have Dianco, Kyler, and Trajan, you know, with speed and power that can just, you know, run. They can run, and then it's just like, you know, kind of pick your poison, like which one you want. So I think, you know, the biggest competition this year, I think it'll be North and South Oldham. I think South Oldham will be a good game too. Our motto is eat, effort, attitude, toughness. Bring that every game. You know, it's just, you know, eat. You know, just grind. You know, push, grind. You know, work for something. You know, set goals and work for it as a team. And then attitude. Have a great attitude. You know, if you have a bad attitude at all, you know, it's what coach and it's what everybody says. It just spreads to everybody else, especially, you know, if it's, you know, one of the team captains or leaders or seniors. You know, it spreads to all the younger kids, and it, you know, then it just sets a bad environment. If you have a great attitude, you know, you know, the great attitude spreads and everybody wants to work and we improve. And then toughness, you know, you just gotta be tough. You know, football's a physical game, and you just gotta be tough.
My name is Sean Hay. I play for Central Hardin High School. My position on the team is tight end and defensive end. One experience with my team is, you know, last year we had a rough season, but that kind of feels like we got stronger through that. And since we knew that Chase was coming back this year as healthy as ever, we knew that the season was going to be good. My strength this year is mainly defensive player. I enjoy that side of the ball a lot more than offensively, just because I feel like I can be honestly my own player. I feel like a good threat on the offensive side of the ball, but mainly defense. And as a team, some of our strengths are a lot different than last year's, just because of more weapons we have, like Gavin, Dianco, and especially Chase. And so it just gives us, you know, a bigger, more broad sense of security. So some of the big game changers or players on our team, of course, I'd have to say would be Chase, just because, you know, him being back is great. I expect Gavin to be one of the bigger players that kind of goes and does great things and is a great player. Dianco, for sure. He's probably one of the best running backs, honestly, that I've seen in high school football. I feel like with those three right there, you know, there's really nothing we can't do. Kyler Lee on the defensive side of the ball, one of our best defensive players. I feel safe with him as a linebacker and as a leader. My personal goal for this year, honestly, and I've been thinking about this a lot, of course, is to get attention from colleges, because I do want to take the next step into playing, hopefully, college football, and to forward my education. Another thing that is personal to me is to be feared on the football team, or two other football teams. I feel like I want myself and our team to be feared by other teams when we walk out onto the field. And I know that as a team, I feel like we set a goal, of course, to hopefully win districts and regions and then to forward our fight towards state. Well, of course, I feel like everybody favors North Hardin as the biggest, hardest team to play, and I can say that that will probably be the same for us. Last year was a kill shot, but I feel like with the weapons we have and the sense of security we have with everybody on the team, I feel like it's going to be a good game, and honestly, we'll come out on top.
We have a phone turned into the press box. Check the phone.
Welcome back to Central Hardin High School Bruin Football Stadium. We've got a second half of action about ready to start back up. Central Hardin Bruins home standing 0 right now on the scoreboard, and the North Hardin Trojans 7. We talked pregame, and you said we might see a 0-0 halftime score, and the defenses were pretty impressive in this first half.
Yeah, we don't have a stat line sitting in front of us or anything, but there was not a lot of yardage put up offensively by either team. Both of them got the ball in decent position when they did get it. I believe off that turnover for the Trojans, they got the ball around the 50 or so, and then were able to march down the field to get their only touchdown of the game. It's been more of a defensive stand on both sides of the ball. 4 turnovers collectively amongst both teams. It's just been a battle.
Well, I thought that if the Bruins could turn over the Trojans, that might be the difference in the game. And they did 3 times and still 0 points. And we looked at each other after the first half, Dan, and you made an interesting comment. I asked the question, what are the Bruins going to do to score? And your answer?
Yeah, I think they've got to try to find a way to get the ball to Gavin George. I think that he right now is their only chance to get a big play out of it. But if they're not able to, the Bruins are not going to get a point on the board tonight.
And that's the answer you gave me is, I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, how is this going to happen? And I think you're right. If they can manage to find Gavin George somewhere down the field where he can make a play, maybe Deonko Wilkerson, he broke 1 run. Everything else, he was tackled in the backfield. It was a rough first half. And our pregame talk was about how this front 7 from the North Hardin Trojans is about the best. Coaching for 23 years, I've seen some pretty good football players. I know you've seen a lot of really good football players. I remember that front 7 from Meade County's football team when they went to the state championship and lost to Scott County in that controversial finish. That was a great front 7. Right. They were so strong up front and so athletic. I don't know. I don't think they're any better than this group right here. In fact, this group may be the best I've seen. There was a group in 1993 at St. X that won the state championship. I coached against them in the state championship game. We lost 3-0. They shut us out. They had 4 D1 players on that defense. I'm telling you, they weren't any better. In fact, I don't think they were as good as this North Hardin defense.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. The front seven, obviously, when you talk about them, you know, for a lot of people in the public, everyone has heard Octavius Oxendine's name. If you're on social media at all, you hear the college recruiters talking about him. Obviously, one of the biggest recruits to come out of here in quite a while. But, you know, I don't want to take anything away from those other guys because they've been just flat out impressive tonight.
Well, the most disruptive has probably been Jarrell Campbell.
Absolutely.
And it's because he's so quick off the football that he can't be blocked.
Right. Yeah, and I'm just wondering, you know, just kind of looking around in the stands, you know, definitely with this type of weather, it's hard for us to see if we recognize anybody, but there could be some college scouts out here tonight.
There definitely are. Talking to a couple of the Central Hardin coaches, I believe the UK coaches, a couple of them are going to be here. Several other coaches were going to be here this evening. It's a shame we're in a pretty steady rain right now. I don't know if I call it a downpour, but a pretty steady rain right now, and that's a little bit of a shame because we're not really showcasing some of the playmaking abilities of some of the Trojans like Josh Moore, some of the playmaking abilities of guys like Gavin George on the other side. Boy, these defenses sure look good tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we would love to see some of that. I know sometimes, you know, the fans are coming out. They're going to sit out here in this weather. They want to see it as well. You know, obviously I think that offense and touchdown is what fill the seats, but, you know, defense definitely is what wins championships.
6, Ramaj Adams on the return. He's still got it. He's broken 2 tackles. He's now around the left side of Barra giving chase, and he'll run Adams out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Good return. Sideline to sideline for Ramaj Adams.
Yeah, he definitely ran farther than he did up and down the field. He ran side to side more there, but a good opportunity that we've seen on the return. It's really the first return that we have seen thus far. Obviously not a whole lot of scoring going on.
Well, Xander Allen gave a little squib kick there again, trying to keep it out of the hands of some of the more dangerous guys. Ramaj Adams is a pretty dangerous guy as far as handling the football and possibly scoring the football. So 1st and 10 from the 39 actually. On their own 39, and again, Manny Wimberly has trips formation to the right. Give again is to Lavelle Wright. He's just kind of stopped behind the line, looking for space. He'll end up getting about 3.
Yeah, that's part of that, again, that zone blocking scheme a little bit. He kind of dances around back there in the back trying to find where the hole is. Personally, I don't like it a whole lot. I think you've got to just hit the hole, hit the first thing you see when you see daylight. But the Bruins doing a good job of just kind of stifling his viewpoint.
2nd and 7 now from the 42-yard line. Wimberly takes the snap, give to Wright. Wright's going to come off straight ahead, actually. And he's stuffed after about a yard gain. And so maybe the Bruins have got something here where they're figuring out maybe how to get a hold of Lavelle Wright, which they struggled to do in the first half.
Absolutely, yeah. Really good job so far what they're doing up front. Flying to the football, getting hats on, making sure they're getting a sure tackle and bringing him down, not letting him do his damage.
3rd and 4 for the Trojans now from the 45-yard line. 2 receivers to each side. Cameron Smith, Josh Moore to the right. Wimberly looking to take the snap. We talked about it during the half as well. Would they just come out giving the ball to Lavelle Wright? So far, that's what they're trying to do. Let's see where they go this time. Sprint out to the right, Wimberly. He's looking out to the right to Cameron Smith. Not there. Throw was wide. Smith never had a chance for that one.
Yeah, trying to get the ball to him a little too late. Ran out of real estate. Really is kind of what happened. He had Lavelle Wright. That was probably an easier throw, but he wanted to get the ball down the field just a little bit farther to get to the sticks for the first down.
So the Bruins have held, at least as far as we can see right now. Again, number 32, Alex White, will be back in punt formation. Don't know that they would go for a fake here, but this is a situation. A high snap, slowly getting away. Gettler almost had it again. Couldn't field that one. Deonko Wilkerson didn't feel comfortable getting it, and the ball will roll to about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Gettler is getting back there, man, and he is laying out, trying to do everything he can to put a block on. I kind of have a feeling if they're able to hold the Trojans a couple more times, Gettler's going to get them one.
So that is one of the strategies. One of the things they're trying to do is trying to get to a punt and get a punt block. You can see that they know the snap from the Trojans is not getting back there very well. So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, the right hash. Bruins will take over there, and they are in a double wing formation to see if they've come up with anything to handle this front 7. And they're going to go straight ahead. A couple yards there. That is Kyler Lee. That is probably the correct approach. Don't want to keep going sideways, but only a yard gain.
Yeah, trying to get off tackle just a little bit there, and they're running straight at big number 99, Octavius Oxendine, and just they're doing their best just to put a solid block on him.
So 2nd and 9 from the 21-yard line, 9:50 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Elmore reports back to the huddle with the play. Andrew Ibarra checking in for Clay Perry. Gavin George wide to the right, Deonko Wilkerson in the slot. It will be a shotgun formation. 3 deep look again, play action look. Elmore gets to the outside, and that ball is underthrown. Boy, that is a hard throw, Dan.
Underthrown there. Jordan Lovett diving out, laying out to try to pull that ball in, and he almost had it. He was the only person that was going to make a play on that ball. It was not going to get to Deonko Wilkerson.
So he's on a dead run to his right, throwing about 35 yards down the field to Deonko Wilkerson. That's really tough. There are guys who can do it, but in order to lead him, he'd have had to throw it about 50 yards down the field, and just didn't have the arm with that kind of sideways motion. 3rd and 9 now for the Bruins, and again, they're putting themselves in a lot of bad situations, as this Trojan defense is too tough for them right now. 3 deep coverage here. Play action look, number 9 unblocked. Great job avoiding by Chase Elmore. Ball is knocked loose. They said he's down. Elmore was hit up around the face area, and doesn't look like there's going to be any flag thrown.
Yeah, it looked like that his face kind of came up a little bit. I think maybe it was an incidental hand kind of got caught in there. The refs did not see it. No flag on the play. The ball did come out, but they did mark it down.
Did you see who was in there on the sack, Dan?
Yeah.
I couldn't see who it was.
Number 48, Jarrell Campbell. And I don't know if we've said his name or not tonight, was in on that.
So Xander Allen back deep on his 2-yard line to punt the football. He's not going to get a lot of pressure. Ball is away. It's a wobbly kick. It will bounce. Oh, great bounce. Quayshawn Davis did not field the ball, and it gets about a 15-yard hop forward. Noah Gettler there to down it at the 36-yard line. So a big punt there for Xander Allen.
Yeah, big. He did have the Bruin bounce off that ball. A little slow kind of getting that ball off. He had a guy coming back, and he got stopped. It looked like number 24 for the Trojans, DeMonte McCray, was there, and he just kind of stopped. And he probably had a chance to block it if he would have kept on coming.
So it looked like they were just going to sit back, but they did have McCray coming full bore at the punt. So 1st and 10 now again for the Trojans. One of the things you did point out to me at the halftime was, well, maybe the only way the Bruins are going to get points is defensively.
Yeah, they could. I mean, obviously, the Trojans have shown us already with 3 turnovers. The Bruins may be able to find themselves in a favorable situation, maybe with an interception or a scoop fumble, and get themselves 6 points that way.
So Chase Elmore back deep, a 3-deep look for the Bruins. Trips formation to the left for Wimberly. He's going to turn and give to Wright, who's around the right side.
Right on the carry.
There was a very strong stiff arm as Trent Ferguson was trying to bring him to the ground. Lavelle Wright is pushing his head to the ground.
Yeah, those are sometimes calls that were that could go against the offense when he puts his hand towards the helmet area. That could be called for a face mask.
He didn't grab, though,
right.
I don't think.
He
So
flat-handed,
I think it was a legit good stiff arm, strong stiff arm there. So again, trips left, 2nd down and 6 for the Trojans, maybe 2nd and 7 from about the 29-yard line. They give to Wright again over the right side. There's Ferguson there. There's Hay. And he's only going to get about 3 yards.
Yeah, Clay Perry as well on the tackle. The Bruins doing a good job getting down the line to stop Lavelle Wright from getting the first down. This is a big third down here.
So as we said, will Brent Thompson be really sold out to the run game? Coach Thompson appears as though he comes out in the second half, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to pound Lavelle Wright with the football. Third down and 3. If they can pick it up here, maybe they can continue to grind the football. I would not be surprised to see a draw play right here and go to Lavelle one more time. Although you do see the Bruins 2 linebackers up in the gaps. They're going to drop back out on 3rd and 3, I have a feeling. Saw Clay Perry and Kyle Lee in the gaps.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they're going to drop back. I think that they're going to bring it and do their best to stop. I think, you know, they have only thrown the ball once or maybe twice in the second half, and you know, why not? This is the type of game when you have the lead that you've got to probably hold it, and grinding it out with their offense might be the best bet, especially with the rain coming down.
I think that's what Coach Thompson's got to be thinking. That's what we were thinking at halftime with a lead and an amazing defense, the weather conditions, that they would just try to pound the football, that they would just run the football. I do know that Coach Jackson, the defensive coordinator for the Bruins, wanted to try to confuse Manny Wimberly and give him different looks, one of those being everybody up on the line and either bringing pressure or dropping guys back out, just trying to be a little bit, show a little variety in the fronts. And so that's what we're getting out of Coach Jackson right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got a sophomore quarterback in Wimberly. You've got an opportunity to try to confuse them a little bit, then you definitely want to try to do that. They're going big.
3, the Jumbos are in, and it's going to be Lavelle Wright taking the snap. Oxendine, Campbell in the backfield, Darren Green, all the defensive front 7 guys in the game here. They're going to try to push it forward. Oh, it's a fumble. Wow, fumbled snap, but they're going to call an offsides penalty on the Trojans. This time, the error just saved them possibly the 6 points we were talking about for the Bruins.
It's the second time now that we've seen them go into this jumbo package with Lavelle Wright taking the snap. The first time was a snap that he handled, was able to kind of get it. But again, you know, we talked about it a little bit ago. The center is putting the ball in different positions all over the place. You got to be careful when you start to change your quarterback.
Well, they're going to bring Manny Wimberly back in on 3rd and 8, and we may see them actually throw the football on a 3rd and 8. I don't see them giving to Lavelle here. Watch the dump off to Lavelle over the middle like they had on the touchdown throw. Looking down the field, he's got an opportunity with Josh Moore, but Gavin George is there. Gavin could not make a play on the ball.
Yeah, it was a play there where Josh Moore decided that he was going to turn into the defender and try to just keep Gavin George from picking that ball off. If he picks that ball off there in that situation, is that better or worse than the punt that they would get?
They may have been better off, as the Trojans, again, they've struggled from time to time this year in the punt game. But again, on 3rd and 7 there, they're not able to pick it up. And again, it looked like Gavin misplayed that. So I don't know, weather, whatever's going on out there, just having a hard time getting his feet.
I'd be honest, and you probably go back and watch that. It almost, like I said, Josh Moore turned into the defender on that play and almost looked like that he kind of pulled Gavin down just a little bit early.
Good kick by Alex White. Gavin George has field. He's got all kinds of space. There are flags down, but George is going to score. They may run him down before he gets there. Down to the 2-yard line, but there are flags all around the field, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. But it was a good kick by Alex White. He pounded that thing deep, but it gave Gavin George an opportunity. Gavin dropped it, but picked it up and had a lot of space, and that's the danger in the kick game.
I thought I saw more flags than that, but it looks like there's just the one on this side of the 50, and it looks like that this is going to go against the Bruins as everybody is kind of walking back in this direction now.
Well, that was the big play the Bruins were looking for, that they desperately need in order to get back in this ball game, and it's going to come back. The flag came out even before really the return got going. It was someone either, haven't seen a signal, holding or blocking the back as the coverage team. It is a hold as the coverage team is coming down to cover the punt. Someone's holding one of the cover people, and so it's that early flag. That was an obvious call that it's going to be a blocking problem. So the Trojans are ready on defense. The Bruins will take over at their own 42, 43-yard line, actually. First down and 10 from the left hash. We've got a wing T formation to the left. Give to the fullback, and Kyle Lee just slips and stumbles and falls straight away, and will lose a yard.
You definitely have got some the conditions of the field are starting to play a factor there, because there was nobody right there that caused that play. He just slipped on the turf.
Number 43, Vesey Lilo, is down on the ground right now. He may have slipped as well, and he may have hurt himself that way. Number 40, Elijah Crow, looks like he'll come in to check in for Vesey Lilo. While we have a moment here, this is a Hardin County Educational Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Physical therapy associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties. For all your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626 and he'll get the job done. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. So they're working here on Vesey Lilo. He's to his feet. He's going to hobble off under his own power. That's got to be good news for the Trojans.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were working on a cramp on him or not. He was coming off, and I'm not sure if he's going. He is going all the way off at this point.
I believe you have to, don't you? Once you've he wanted to stay.
Yeah, I think he was thinking he was going to stay in. No timeout was called or anything. It was just they were stop the clock for him.
So a situation the Bruins have found themselves in all night, which is second and long, 2nd and 11. And they're going to give on the reverse to Deonka Wilkerson. He's going to cut it back, breaks a tackle. He's off, trying to get off of Jordan Lovett. He picks up about 4. Looked like a really successful play for just 4 yards.
Yeah, it looked like Deonko kind of turned his body sideways, able to slip through, get past number 9, Devontae Jordan Maffa there, getting upfield a little bit, but a great play from the safety coming all the way deep to make the stop and keep from Deonko from getting upfield. But if he makes that move and gets past Jordan, he may be in the end zone.
Well, yeah, he had one tackler to beat, and it was Lovett, and Lovett made the play. So 3rd down and 7 now after the 4-yard gain. The ball is at the 46-yard line of the Bruins. Trips formation to the right. Elmore in the shotgun. He's going to turn and throw the screen to Gavin George. Nothing there in front of him, so he's going to reverse all the way around to the other side. He looks like he's going to be swallowed up by 4 Trojan defenders after a short gain of about 3 yards.
Yeah, even Chase Elmore getting in the game there a little bit, trying to throw a block. Gets a block on Jarrell Campbell to try to help spring his receiver, but it's just not enough.
At midfield.
So 4th down and 4 yards to go at the 49-yard line. The Bruins on their side of the 50 will send on the punt unit again. That'll be Xander Allen, and we're trading punts at this point in the second half. These defenses have really come to play tonight.
Absolutely. Again, just when you get in these situations, these long snaps with this type of weather, it's always dangerous.
Good snap. Kick is away. It's a good kick by Xander Allen. Quayshawn Davis will again field that deep inside the 10. Makes one man miss, but the Bruins are there. Make a good open field tackle, and the Trojans will take over at about the 12-yard line.
Great job getting downfield. Number 33, Clay Perry, handling the snapping duties. So he's making the snap. He's taken off, untouched, able to get down the field and secure the tackle.
Clay Perry's a strong kid, and there are people, and I don't know if you noticed, that had some zip on it. Clay is actually being recruited as a long snapper.
He is, yeah. He's actually has said that he has got a preferred walk-on status with the University of Kentucky. Going to maybe follow in one of his uncle's footsteps there.
So 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line, and Wimberley will take the snap. It's going to be a draw play around the left side. Lavelle Wright makes one man miss, and he'll pick up 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, looks like a good job there of Sean Hay being able to secure the tackle, keep Lavelle Wright from getting any more yardage because he looked dangerous as he was starting to break free.
So a 7-yard gain actually. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 3. Ball on their own 21-yard line. Trojans are on the left hash. It's a 3-deep coverage look for the Bruins. 4-man front. The outside linebackers, Noah Wilson and Andrew Barr up tight to try to take away the run on 2nd down and short. 3 receivers to the left. It'll be a screen to Marcus Harris up the left side. He's going to have 1st down yardage with about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, Marcus Harris coming back to make that little screen catch, little bubble screen. Has a secured block up front for him. And it's just a little bit too quick for the Bruins to get him in before the 1st down.
So 1st and 10, and we're going to see number 9. Is that Brooks coming in for Wilkerson as he hobbles off?
Yeah, Wilkerson is definitely hobbling on that ankle at this point.
So he's trying to stretch that out, and they're going to run that same delayed draw back to the right side this time. Strung out well, and a good tackle by Gavin George, but again, about a 4 or 5 yard gain for Lavelle Wright.
Yeah, they're making that play there. The offensive line for the Trojans are trying to run with Lavelle, continue to push up the field as he kind of tries to stay in behind him. A good job of Gavin coming up and making the play, but just not quick enough.
It's almost like a sprint draw play where Lavelle steps to the side and then comes back the other direction, or a counter draw action. Going back the opposite direction, trips to the right, a bad snap again. We've got quick screen to Ramaj Adams, who's got room coming around the opposite direction again. There's a flag down as Ramaj Adams has a big play, picking up about 17 or 18 yards. If there is a flag down, it's got to be an illegal block of some kind.
Yeah, I think, when you're catching this ball on this other side of the hash and then you reverse field then to take off and go the other direction, it just, you're going to have poor blocks. I mean, it's not intentional, but just when your back or your receiver in this case changes directions, it's hard for offensive linemen to maintain a normal block.
Well, one of the things that is the worst case scenario for the Bruins here, Chase Elmore limping a little bit after that play. He's back here at his free safety position. He's a little gimpy on one of the legs there. I don't know if he, coming in to try to make a play, was blocked. A little bit low.
It's the tough part when you have some of your guys, Chase Elmore, Deonka Wilkerson, Gavin George, Sean Hay, these multiple guys that are playing on both sides of the ball. You just can't afford to lose any of those players on either side. The next man up for them is just not as prepared for this scenario.
So it'll be 2nd down and long after the personal foul call, an unnecessary block. Wimberley faking screen one way, throwing screen the other way. It's batted up in the air. Wimberley catches it and is tackled immediately there. It's going to be a big loss.
It's going to be the stat line for Wimberley that he passed completion to himself. But for negative yardage.
So Wimberley catches his own pass, but dangerous, because that ball's batted up in the air. If there's a Bruin lineman anywhere in the area, that could be 6 points for the Bruins.
Yeah, that was a credit to Bruin. I believe it was Sean Hay that was able to get his hand up and knock that ball down, or in this case, back up to Wimberley. But yeah, he had another Bruin there in the vicinity. That's 6.
That's fortunate because Hay's got great hands. 4-deep look on 3rd and a million. Wimberley looking down the field. Hay is going to give pressure. Open receiver, Cameron Smith, I think, came up with it.
That ball hit the ground for sure, but they are not going to call that. He double clutched it, and the nose of the ball hit the ground.
So big, about a 15-yard gain, but it was 3rd and 27, so now 4th down and 12. And again, it appears as though the North Hardin punt team will come on. It's probably the only option they've got here, deep in their own territory on their 24-yard line. And again, the last time we saw this formation, we saw Gavin George breaking one. And I'm sure the Trojans would love to have, a late reporter into the game for the Trojans. And again, this is a dangerous play for the Trojans. Again, Gettler trying to get there. The ball is going to not be fielded. And never understood that, where you're running back away from it. If you attack that ball and catch it, you've got an opportunity for a big return. But the Bruins will let it fall to the ground, and it'll be down at the 37-yard line of the Bruins. Again, a big kick there. That's about a 38-yard kick or so.
Yeah, another big kick. Bianca Wilkerson back into the game, and he was the returner closest to that ball. Again, looking over there, number 62, Noah Gettler was getting back there in the back. This time had 3 guys blocking him to keep him away.
Figured out where he's coming
Absolutely,
from, Coach.
keeping him away from the kicker.
So the Bruins will take over, and they're looking to find something that will be a positive play for them. Give is going to be straight ahead on the fullback trap to Kyler Lee. This time, significant yards, about a 5-yard gain on the fullback trap.
Yeah, nice play from the Bruins there. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen it prior to this ball game, but really one of the first times tonight we've seen some great positive yards from the fullback.
Well, I'm sure if you're the Bruins, you're hoping that as much as this team's been on the field, maybe you can start to wear them down, and big Kyler Lee at fullback can have some kind of an effect. Maybe they're not going to be coming off the ball quite as quickly as they were early in the game. Again, double wing formation for the Bruins. Motion across, fake to the jet, but it's Darren Green just slamming Kyler Lee to the ground.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he made any gain on that one.
Going to move him up about 2 feet, almost a yard.
Kyler Lee on the carry.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 from their own 44-yard line as the clock continues to tick at 35 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Rapidly approaching 4th quarter play. They are going to have to snap this before the end of the quarter, and Chase Elmore just reporting to the huddle. They're going to have to get to the line in a hurry here. And it would be a horrible mistake to have a delay a game on 3rd and 3 here. Shotgun formation, they get the play off. Elmore rolling to his right. He gets around one defender. He's going to get up the sideline and pick up about 12 yards. A good run by Chase Elmore. He saw the green grass, he saw the 1st down, and he took it. Great quarterback play.
Yeah, absolutely. And it almost looked like it was a set play for him, because as soon as he rounded that corner, he took it. You know, that's definitely one of those opportunities for him. He sees the grass. You know, coach is giving him the green light to go ahead and take off. Chase, you know, is a decent runner. And so able to pick up the 1st down.
3.8 seconds to go. Clock stopped on the out of bounds there. It'll be 1st and 10. The Bruins are now in Trojan territory. I believe this is the 3rd time tonight they've been in Trojan territory, twice in the 1st half deep, unable to get points on a missed field goal on a turnover on downs. We're in a double wing formation. The Bruins, Gavin George wide to the right. Under center, fumbled snap. Looks like the Bruins have jumped on it. There's no signal the other direction. And the Bruins have it, but it'll be 2nd and 11 when we start the 4th quarter here of action. Again, Trojans 7, Bruins 0 with 12 minutes to go. And Dan, who's going to own the 4th quarter?
Yeah, you know, the Bruins are moving the ball right now. We haven't seen that a whole lot out of them thus far in the game, but now making a little bit of a push to try to move the ball. Unfortunate there for them being under center. They don't go under center a whole lot, so it's a fumbled snap. But yeah, I think that you know, the Bruins are kind of feeling like that they're in this game. They have an opportunity. The Trojans have not been able to put them away, so it's anybody's ball game.
Absolutely. So mistakes on the Trojan side have just kept them from being able to extend the lead. On the Bruins side, again, a couple errors. A penalty on a long punt return. Both teams have, again, been their own worst enemies. Turnovers, penalties have been a big part of this storyline tonight. But we've got 12 minutes remaining to play, and we'll see who can limit those errors and have an opportunity. Now, this game has moved in quite quickly. I'm looking just quickly at the clock. It's about 10 after 9 right now, and so we're moving really quickly here. A lot of running the football, and clock keeps winding away.
Yeah, the Bruins have the opportunity here in the 4th quarter going towards their end zone here where their fans are crowded around the backside. So that can definitely be a factor for them, having the home stand and have their fans cheering them on. But the Trojan faithful, they're still here. There's still several out as the rain continues to come down.
2nd and 11, shotgun formation, double wing. It's going to be a play action look. Looking to the left for Gavin George. No chance because
Jarrell Campbell is there. He is there about every single play. Helping out on that was the big double O, Octavius Oxenine as well. Chase has to be able to get rid of that ball. I mean, you have that much time, you've got to be able to get the ball down the field to your receivers, but a great job defensively by the Trojans covering them up.
Well, if you look at the formation and the play call there, again, they're trying to hold those guys with play action, but you had one of the wings coming across the formation this way. He's looking to his left on a corner route to Gavin George, and when he wasn't there, there just really wasn't anywhere else to go with the football. About a two-man route and nothing there. Well, that sack will bring up a 3rd and 19, ball on their own 46. Again, they had the ball over the 50-yard line into Trojan territory. It looks to me like, Dan, that the Bruin offense doesn't have a lot of these kinds of pass plays that are just short, easy completions. Where are the hitch routes and some of the others that maybe you can pick up some quick, easy yards?
Right, yeah, it doesn't seem like that they have that. It's got to be in that playbook. I know it is, but it's just not something that they've gone to. The only thing we've seen out of them in that short type of pass play has been some of the screens to the backs, but that they've had some success out of.
Well, you might see that here, and again, you might have the Trojans with their ears pinned back trying to get after the quarterback here. On a 3rd and long call, that's one of the few things you really can do that might be an effective call. So there could be a screen to a back here. You might see, again, some sort of short pass, just hoping for an opportunity to break some tackles and pick up the yardage. The only other option, obviously, is just taking another shot. That just has not been a good option with the pass rush of the Trojans. It's going to be an empty backfield as Wilkerson heads down the field. It's Trajan Sanders down the seam, caught deep into Trojan territory. He's fumbled the football. It's loose, heading toward the goal line. And I believe the Trojans have come up with the football on the 1-yard line.
Well, this is one of those plays right now. You know, I'm sitting here in my vantage point. I thought he was down, and then the ball came out. Obviously, we have no review in high school football, but it appeared to me that he was down, but we have nobody that – I don't see a bag that was thrown or anything in that regard.
So we have a huge throw down the seam to Trajan Sanders. They hit Sanders. One of the Trojan players are trying to get off the field. He's struggling around behind the goal line there. Maybe Ian Patry being helped by Michael Lunds and Jordan Lovett. But Trajan Sanders makes the catch. He's to about the 15 when he's hit from behind. The ball pops loose, and it ends up at the 1-yard line where Wimberly will be standing 4 yards deep to accept the shotgun snap in his end zone. And here come the Bruin linebackers up on the line. They're going to be coming after him here. He's going to sprint to his right to look to throw the football. Wimberly's got space, and he's going to run. No, he's going to throw. Ball's incomplete. Was he over the line of scrimmage? No, I guess he was still behind. The official on the side, the side judge, was in good position and looking at the line of scrimmage. And that pass was intended, I believe, for number 6, Ramaj Adams.
Yeah, I really wish, Coach, if I could go back and watch that play again, because I do believe, like I said, maybe I'm mistaken, see, but I think he was down on the play, but no one was there to make that call.
So a tough turnover. Turnovers have been the story tonight, really. Both defenses creating those turnovers, and now another big one for the Bruins here. Again, it's on the 2-yard line, I guess. Snap taken by Wimberly. He's going to throw it out to Lavelle Wright on a screen pass. Wright is going to break one tackle and get around the side. That's a big gain of about 20 yards for Lavelle Wright.
Absolutely. Get themselves out with a little bit of breathing room at this point away. He catches the ball about 2 yards deep in the end zone and just finds a seam up the sideline for the big gain.
So they had the trip formation to the right. They're trying to direct the defense's attention away from that side of the field. They throw back to the weak side. and it's just Lavelle Wright making a play at that point. You've got one guy to beat, and that's what he's going to do. So 3-deep look for the Bruins here, 1st and 10 from their own 21-yard line now. Trips formation again to the right. Wimberly takes the snap. He's going to throw the screen quickly to Adams. He's hit quickly there. There'll be nothing. He'll lose 3 or 4 yards as 3 or 4 Bruins were there. Trent Ferguson, Mason Trout, Clay Perry, a number of them. Andrew Ibarra there to make the play.
Yeah, they definitely are reading that play out, and they can see when it's getting ready to happen in development. And I think some of that probably just kind of starts in the backfield. Lavelle Wright doesn't really give much of a fake off of that at all, and you got to be able to try to sell that play.
10:44 remaining, clock ticking. 2nd down and 11 for the Trojans. Wright is moving to the left of Manny Wimberly. Wimberly takes the low snap. He's looking deep down the field. He's under pressure, trying to break the pocket. There's a lot of pressure there, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so going to bring up a big 3rd down here as the Bruins are able to contain him. They kind of went under, max protect there, kept Lavelle Wright in the back. I thought maybe that he might slip out there at the last second and become an option, but he never did.
So they sent all 4 wide receivers straight down the field. They were looking to try to hit something deep, which is often a good option out of your own end. If there's a bad result, it's almost like a punt at that point. 3rd down and 12 now. Wimberly did lose a yard on that play. Tight bunch to the left. Looking like a screen back over the middle to Marcus Harris, number 8. He'll catch the ball there, makes a man miss. He's going to be dragged down about 5 yards short of the 1st down. A good 7-yard gain, but not enough.
Yeah, not enough. The Trojans should come out here in their punt formation. Looks like they're taking their time just a little bit to do so. Yeah, here they come now.
Clock running, 10:02 remaining in the game now. The Bruins, you've got to think they're only going to have a couple more opportunities here. They're going to have to find something. Here, they're going to have to look for an opportunity to get some field position as Alex White will go back, number 32, in punt formation.
Looks like the Trojans are missing somebody in this formation. They're going to have to burn a timeout. It's definitely not a position you want to burn a timeout on a punt formation.
Well, that's what happened in their last punt formation. Somebody came in and reported late. I don't know if it's an injury that's causing them to not have the right personnel, but it's 2 punts in a row where they have not had the correct personnel on the field to start the play.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just a, if you've got an injury, typically, remember always as a coach, if you got an injury for somebody's reporting saying this guy is now out, we have to find a backup.
It's got to
right
be a
now.
coach
Yeah.
that's responsible for figuring that out and making sure people know where they're going. This is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. So 9:40 to go. The Trojans are in punt formation. Back deep are the playmakers. Deonko Wilkerson, Gavin George. We haven't seen much big. We saw a big punt return from Gavin that got called back. We'll see what they can get here. They're going to set up a return this time, and again, running away from the football. George will field it off the bounce. He's got space. He's got a lead blocker and another flag down. So Gavin's going to get a big return here. He's cutting back across field. He will be dragged down at about the 33-yard line of the Trojans, but that one's not going to count either.
Yeah, you got 2 flags down, so I'm not sure. We got probably 2 blocks in the back, or either that because they're not exactly in the same position.
So again, sloppy play in some circumstances here for both sides.
It's a little defeating, you can tell. It looks like Gavin George looking back, seeing the ref stand with the flag, and he just kind of hangs his head for just a second as he's just like, man, all this work, and it's all coming back. But it's not going to stop him from continuing to do his best to try to get into the end zone.
It just takes one of those is what, obviously you've got to look at if you're one of those big playmakers for either side. For North Hardin, one big play, and this thing is out of reach. For the Bruins, one big play, and you've tied this thing back up. So Gavin George giving his best. He's made a couple big plays. Both of them have come back. They need Gavin George to make a big play in the passing game here in order for them to have an opportunity to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a block in the back call. It's going to move the Bruins in the opposite direction that they're trying to go.
So the field position that they were going to gain here that we felt was going to happen is not going to happen now. This makes their job very difficult. You have to feel like with a couple of plays, even like the pass to Trajan Sanders you had a little bit ago, a couple plays they could get it down in scoring position, maybe if you start at the 50 or the 45. But back in your own end, 28 yards, trying to go 72 yards, I just don't see it.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, there's not been many games, Paul, where we've sitting here and we're looking at Gavin George and starting to think, does he have a catch tonight?
He's got about 3, but they've all been for about 10 or 12 yards. And but not a lot going on there. Play action, put just everybody in Chase Elmore's face. He's going to throw that one away. He had about 4 guys in his lap there. Vesey Lilo, Octavius Oxendine, and Jarrell Campbell all in his face immediately after he turned from the play fake.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, and Chase is not a short guy at all, but he could hardly see over top of those guys as he's trying to throw the ball and really just kind of throwing it out in space and just hoping for the best.
So Trajan Sanders will check back in as Deonka Wilkerson is kind of limping off to the sideline again. He's not at 100%. I'm sure when the second round of this battle resumes, they'll be hoping that Deonka Wilkerson is at 100%. Under center, Chase Elmore. Wing left formation. They're going to give it on the belly to Trajan Sanders, and he's eaten by Darren Green for about a 7-yard loss.
Yeah, Darren sniffed that out. He is hitting it on the second give for the belly play and hitting Trajan in the backfield. And, you know, Bruins got to be careful there. When you got linebackers that are hitting you almost at the same time as you're handing the ball off, that could spell disaster.
That's why this team is so good defensively. They're so disruptive. You can't run your offense. They could not get the ball into Trajan's hands without someone tackling. And so that second belly completely ineffective. It was a 4-yard loss, not a 7-yard loss. They threw him back for 4 or 5 more yards. We got trips formation right on 3rd and long, and there's a flag. Or timeout. Timeout North Hardin. So with 8:32 to go, and the Trojans still leading 7-0. We have a timeout, a little break in the action here. This is a Hardin County Educational Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties for all your real estate needs. Contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900. Online at melgabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Trojans did not like what they saw the Bruins had set up. It almost looked like quads to one side, and the Trojans didn't like it, so they decided to call the timeout. Different formation.
So Sean Hay in motion across the formation this time to go trips to the right side. Screen pass to Gavin George over the middle. Beautifully set up play. He's going to get the first down on 3rd and 13. So Sean Hay came across the formation. He almost blocked the outside linebacker. Gavin George just slipped right underneath him, right behind him, in behind that rush. So it was almost like a slot screen in the middle.
Yeah, it was a nice call. It was definitely a nice call. The Trojans were not expecting it, and Gavin George being very patient, allowing his blockers, and then for him just to pick his way through, and he knew where the line to gain was.
So 1st and 10 for the Bruins, and again 8:05 and the clock running. They have the ball on their own 39-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Gavin George out wide. He's basically manned up on Ian Patrick. They're going to try to run They're going to run a sweep pass. Oh. Gavin George comes back and makes the play, and there's a flag. That's going to be on Ian Patrick. I'm not sure if it's a face mask or an interference call.
It's going to be something. You're exactly right. I thought when Bianco came out with that ball, I thought there was no chance that ball was going to make it there. And then Gavin slips, able to get back up and still make the play. That's just remarkable.
Well, when you thought it was a jet sweep, it looked like it was going nowhere. He almost got tackled in the backfield. He gets the ball off, and just an amazing play, as you said, by Gavin George. He fell down and got up and caught it.
Yeah, Patrick looked like he went down for just a minute. Looked like he started to cramp up, and the Trojans are going to send somebody on, and Patrick waves him off. He gets up, and he's moving. But the Bruins might want to look at that and think that Patrick's a little gimpy here. They might want to go after him again.
So I guess they're going to decline the penalty because the play is longer than what the penalty would have been on the pass interference call. Trips formation to the left, Gavin George to the right. Looking down the field for Gavin George. He went the other direction, and Jordan Lovett's going to pick it off. Gavin George runs a corner route, and he throws to the post, and that is the end of that drive.
Yeah, and Gavin and Chase are talking to each other right now, and they're a little confused on what the route was. It looked like the Gavin thought one thing, Chase thought something different, so they're talking it over a little bit, but they got to get connected, and they need to stay focused right here and not start the inner battle between each other.
Let's go defense!
So the Trojans with 7:14 to go are backed up. They're on their 9-yard line. Three-man front. Wimberly looking to throw to Lavelle Wright again off the goal line. He makes Perry miss, and he's going to pick up a couple yards on that one.
Picked up a yard.
Yeah, Clay Perry was there to make the play, and Lavelle Wright is just so shifty, able to just kind of slide his hips one direction, and able to gain some yardage out of it, and it looked like the Clay had him dead to right.
2-yard gain. Bring up second down and 8, 6:47, and the clock is counting. That is now the story, as we have very little time remaining in this football game. Trips formation to the left, looking to the right on the quick hitch. Cameron Smith makes the catch, quickly tackled. Looks like he's just short. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he's going to just be a little bit short, maybe going to bring up 3rd and 1.
So 3rd and a yard, 6:23 and counting. And the Trojans certainly won't hurry up. They'll let some clock run. They'll get their play in, 3rd and 1. You got to believe they're going to give the ball to Lavelle right here to get the 1 yard and continue this drive.
Yeah, no reason to get fancy here. Just do what you've been doing. You've been able to get it off of Lavelle's feet.
Give to right, straight ahead. Good play by the Bruins. I don't know if he got it.
He is not going to get it. I don't even think he got back to the line of scrimmage. It looks like that they're going to market that. He's going to lose about a yard.
They got a big push straight up field. That's not the Bruin that made the play, but it really forced them sideways, and I don't see what happened right there. They're calling it a yard gain and a first down.
Yeah, I don't
know what kind of spot that was.
Yeah, I guess they're really being generous on the forward progress right there.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line, 5:30 and counting, and the Trojans here, if they can just make a couple more first downs, they're going to eat this clock. Trojans have no timeouts. The Bruins still have 2, so they are able to stop the clock a couple more times. They're going to have to get this stop here. Quick screen to Josh Moore, missed by Ibarra on the outside. 2 more Bruins getting there in a hurry, including Deonko Wilkerson and Chase Elmore.
Yeah, good job again by the Bruins being able to come up and make those tackles. You know, the Trojans able just to move the ball about a yard. And again, I'm just a little, you know, I don't see it. I don't see it necessary for the Trojans to be trying to throw the ball out here. Those aren't the easiest plays to do. So it's just tough.
So was he out of bounds on that or not? The clock ran for an extra 12 to 15 seconds, but now it's stopped. Not sure what the call on the field was. The officials are now going to stop and huddle and figure out what happened over here on the sideline.
Oh, come on! They don't have a timeout.
I thought the clock was going to stop at 5 minutes. They're going to blow the whistle and let it run. He was tackled inbounds. Clock has not started yet, even though he blew the whistle. Wimberly looking down the field, going to throw to Ramaj Adams over the middle. Adams is going to break a couple of tackles. He's got about a 25-yard gain, still on his feet, almost to midfield.
Great catch and run by Ramaj Adams. The ball was just thrown just outside of the grass with number 33, Clay Perry, kind of making a diving attempt to knock the ball down. Ramaj Adams able to pull it in and makes a nice run after catch.
So a big play with 4:35 remaining and counting. The Bruins have got to start to think about how are they going to manage the clock at this point. Obviously, they've got to get a stop. But this is exactly what the Trojans needed, was a couple of first downs and to keep the clock moving. 2 wide receivers to each side. And Wimberly is just waiting on the clock. Going to let it run all the way down. The give is to Wright. He's going to be stopped for about a yard gain. We've got an injured Bruin. Number 22, is that 22?
It's 25, that's Kyler Lee.
Holding his elbow.
Just holding his elbow. I think that's just one of those where you're in there on the tackle and your teammate's coming in and your helmet just probably hits the elbow.
Lee shaking it off. Again, 2 wide receivers to each side, a 1-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 9, 3:45 and counting. Wimberly and Wright just waiting on the clock to continue to run down. They'll let as much time come off as possible. The snap is a good one. Looking down the field on the square end, Wimberly's got plenty of time. He's breaking contain on the right side. He's going to pick up a big first down for the Trojans and picks up about 14 yards. And did they stop the clock?
I don't know. It looked like that Wimberly tried to get down right after he got the first down to stay in bounds. Obviously, the clock stops for the first down, and we'll see if they'll roll it or not after they get it chain set.
They will roll it, so the clock is running, and with 3:18 to go, Bruins have now got to start to think about they've got to use timeouts, because one more first down without timeouts, and this thing's over. 2 wide receivers to each side. Sean Hay in the backfield has a hold of Lavelle Wright, and he's going to stop him for about a 2 or 3 yard loss. And
yeah, it looked like the ball had kind of like bobbled a little bit in Lavelle Wright's hands, but he was able to hold on to it. I just kind of wonder, at this point, the Bruins, are they trying to strip the ball out? Are they trying to do anything to gain possession?
The clock is continuing to run, and again, 2 timeouts in the pocket of the Bruins, and I would suspect they're letting it run here, but after 2nd and 3rd down, they will call those timeouts to try to save the clock. Nothing they could do for 3 straight downs. They can only stop it twice, so they're probably going to stop it after 2nd and 3rd if they can get some stops. 2nd and 11, Trojans. Give again to Wright. He's going to break it off the right side. He's going to be dropped down, and you do see Sean Hay ripping at the football, trying to get it out. And the Bruins will call timeout now with 2:04 to go here. It'll bring up a 3rd down and probably 10 yards, maybe 9, depending on the forward progress in the spot. So this thing has melted away. The clock is quickly favoring the Trojans, as they've done a great job coming off their own goal line here after the turnover. 4 first downs, and here they sit with 1 more opportunity, 1 more first down, and this football game's over.
Absolutely, yeah, and you noted there that Sean Hay was trying to get the ball out. It's kind of really the only thing that the Bruins have for them, trying to get the stop, call the timeout, try to strip the ball. They've got to do something to get the ball back as fast as possible. Even if they get it back, though, do they have enough firepower to get the ball, in this case, where the ball is just on the other side of the 30 here? I mean, do they have enough firepower to get the ball to the end zone?
Yeah, I mean, they're struggling to make first downs, and they've hit some really interesting calls, some really well-called, almost tricky types of plays in order to get to this point. A really sneaky screen to Gavin George, a halfback pass. A 5 wide receiver set where they motioned the back out of the backfield and hit the slot receiver down the seam to Trajan Sanders. They've pretty much pulled out all the stops. and they still got a 0 on the board. So. Have to pull a miracle out of that to pull this off. I really believe here, Dan, that this is 4-down territory for the Trojans. Well, they don't want to punt.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason to.
They're going to try to pick this up in 2 downs, maybe even right here. Wimberly under some pressure. He's breaking through the middle again. He's got some space, and they're going to bring him down after about a 4-yard gain. It'll bring up a 4th and 6 or 7, and I really believe Brent Thompson will go for this.
The clock is stopped.
Well, there's a timeout. The last timeout.
They just called the last one. Okay.
Called the last one.
I didn't see hand signal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it'll bring up the 4th down and about 7 here, almost 8, and so.
Yeah, there's there's really no reason for the Trojans to try to punt this ball. Again, kind of going back on what the Bruins have been able to show on offense. You put the ball in a punt situation. Is it going to go through the back of the end zone, or are you going to try to put it in the coffin corner? You're going to try to put it in a position to where Gavin George maybe tries to return it? No way. There's no reason to do it. You keep the ball here, run the ball.
Even if you don't get it, the Bruins still have to go 70 yards.
Absolutely.
And it's just not anything beneficial in a punt here, especially. You'd think you might gain yardage, but you've got the chance of a bad snap, and
Absolutely.
all kinds of horrible things can happen to the Trojans with a punt. So here comes the offense back onto the field for the Trojans. Manny Wimberly, all he has to do is handle the football here for one more play. And this thing will probably be salted away unless the Bruins can find a miracle somewhere.
Let's go, dude!
He has not. I don't believe they've turned it over in the second half, have they?
No, they have not.
So the Trojans taking care of it in the second half. The Bruins not. They are going to throw it on 4th and 7. Mason Trout giving chase to Wimberly, trying to get him to run out of bounds, and he will smartly. He's not going to take a shot and maybe throw it up for grabs there. It will turn over on downs to the Bruins with 1:45, and so a smart play by the quarterback there. Nothing there. He's going to just run for it and then accept the situation for what it is.
Yeah, so they give the Bruins the ball back here at about the 35-yard line or so. A lot of grass for the Bruins to cover still.
Well, it is at the 34.5. They've got to go 65 yards in a minute and 45 with no timeout. And so the Bruins are going to have to conserve time by getting out of bounds, incomplete passes, any number of ways you can, first downs. Those are the ways you can stop the clock. And there's a big blitz, and it's quickly off. Sean Hay, who fumbles the football after catching it, and it looks like that's going to be Trojans on the football.
Trojans recover.
He did, that's kind of the case that, did he catch the ball and make the turn? I believe that he did catch the ball, made a football move. He did turn. The refs are talking it over right now. They are pointing in the direction of the Trojans.
And so the drive gets started with a completion. Sean Hay tried to turn the ball upfield. I think he should have just continued to try to run to get to the out-of-bounds line, but he turns it up, takes the helmet right on the football, and the ball's loose. And so, Battle of Hardin County here, the O must go, and it's going to be the Trojans 9-0, the Bruins 8-1 in an exciting game, even though it's just a 7-0 affair, an exciting game. So we got the victory formation for the Trojans, and Wimberly's going to take the snap and take a knee here. He'll take a knee a couple more times. Is it going to run out? They've got
all
Lavelle
depends
right
on when
back.
they set the ball.
Boy, they're taking
the
their
time
Man,
setting it.
he's wiping the thing off and standing there. If I'm the Bruins, I'm like, what are you doing? Put it on the ground. Let's go. So Lavelle Wright back 20 yards back in case there was some sort of mishap on the snap here. He is the safety. And they're going to let it run the play clock all the way down. Wimberly's going to get under center, take his second snap on second down, 57 seconds and counting. And the Bruins and the Trojans showing some good respect. There's some shaking of hands already at this point between these guys. I think there's a lot of respect, and this game has been a phenomenal contest. Here on third down, they'll take a knee one more time, and that ought to do it.
Yeah, these guys are going to see each other again in just a few weeks. They will play that game at Trojan Field for sure, as the Trojans are going to get the #1 seed here with this victory, and we'll be ready for it again.
Well, that'll be a big one. That'll probably mean that the Trojans will play, I believe, Barron County in the first round and probably Meade County and Central Hardin in the first round of the playoff. They'll see each other again in the second round, in the
there's
official
no doubt.
district championship.
I don't think has Meade and Barron played yet.
I don't know, maybe that's going on tonight.
That might be going on tonight. So they may be playing here for third and fourth to find out who the Bruins and the Trojans will face. But we'll know that result fairly quickly, and we'll be excited to see the round 2 of this matchup.
So the Trojans and the Bruins here shaking hands. What a great battle. Phenomenal game. You saw a phenomenal defense in the North Hardin Trojans. You almost take a look at what's going on and see that you wonder, how are teams scoring the ball against North Hardin at all? How have they given up 68 points on the season? I don't see how you score points against this football team.
Absolutely. Yeah, their defense was on point. Obviously, they were playing at their peak against a Bruin team that they know that they're coming in a lot on the line. But this Trojan defense is phenomenal. They've got every component that you would want in your defense, and they flat get after you.
Well, the Bruins are going to come out of this 8-1, and again, this game, the margin between the two teams is razor thin. It's a play here and a play there. It's a couple of turnovers in the second half. The Trojans took advantage of those turnovers. The Bruins couldn't take advantage of the first half turnovers. And so that, in a lot of ways, is the story of the game. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, Eton Exterminating, and West Point Bank. So, Dan, any final thoughts for this game?
No, it was a great one. Again, like we said, someone was going to come out 9-0 and the other was going to be about 8-1. I don't think that the Bruins have anything to be ashamed about. I mean, obviously the turnover battle was a big one. 3 turnovers early for the North Hardin Trojans. 4, and those 3 being late in this half were big difference makers in favor of the Trojans. The Bruins are just going to be able to go back to the drawing board to draw it back up, and I'm sure that they're going to come out and find some opportunities for themselves in the future, because it will be an exciting game, and that's the thing to remember from this. All the kids got to know, we're going to have another chance again.
So as a wise old coach, a guy named Mike Murphy, who played professional football for the Rams, he was with the head coach with the Highlands Bluebirds. I was an assistant with him at Boone County High School back in the 90s. Mike Murphy, one of the greatest old coaches in Kentucky high school history. He looked at me after we had lost a big game at Boone County and said, that team just won the wrong game. And we were able later on to come back and defeat Lexington Bryan Station in the region championship. So these kind of games can turn. You can go from one game and then 4 weeks later, you just never know. And again, we've obviously got 2 teams that are incredibly evenly matched. And I'm just excited for round 2.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good one.
So we will be in the booth for that in a couple of weeks, in about 3 or 4 weeks here. But we'll continue with Kentucky high school football action for Dale Mings in the truck and our student production team. Dan Robbins here in the booth with me. I'm Paul Gray. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This has been a Hardin County Educational and Community Television production. Live local sports are on Brandenburg Channel 1. All rebroadcasts are on Brandenburg and Comcast Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184, and on our YouTube site. Also check out our live sporting events on nfhs.com or visit us at hardin.k12.ky.us. Hardin County Educational and Community Television, located in Hardin County, Kentucky, a division of Hardin County Schools, airing on Brandenburg, Comcast, Spectrum, and also airing online.
Providing live coverage of local high school sports.
Covering community and school events, while teaching students along the way.
HCEC-TV, the area's leading educational and government access channel. training the next generation of media arts students.
Control your home even when you're not there with Brandenburg Telecom's home automation service. Turn lights on and off, lock and unlock doors, and change settings on your thermostat using your smartphone or tablet. Stop worrying whether or not you remember to close the garage door, and save money by programming your thermostat to reduce energy used when you're not home. Call Brandenburg Telecom for a free quote and enjoy the convenience of having home automation, phone, TV, and internet service, all from one local company.
All right, son, you ready to open your first savings account?
Yes, I am.
West Point Bank has been growing with our customers for over 30 years. We know what it takes to support them in every stage of their life. You need a bank that you know and trust to help you reach your goals and make your dreams come true. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple.
If pain is keeping you from doing the things you love, it's time to visit Physical Therapy Associates. We offer a variety of treatment options, including dry needling, A-stem, tractions, and many other options to relieve pain. Many of our patients are able to avoid surgery and costly pain medication through our treatments. If you haven't tried these options, what are you waiting for? With 6 locations across central Kentucky, pain relief is only a phone call away. Give Physical Therapy Associates a chance to get you out of pain. Physical Therapy Associates, friends helping friends.
Hey everyone, Ryan here. I just wanted to announce some exciting news that I'm officially a licensed realtor. I've been a part of a championship-winning basketball team, a conference-winning Bellarmine golf team, and now I'm part of an award-winning real estate team, JT Pitts & Associates at RE/MAX Premier Properties. If you have any real estate questions, real estate needs, or just want to reach out, please don't hesitate to call or send me a message. My number is right below. I'm ready to bring that winning mentality to the real estate industry so I can give my clients the service they deserve. Thanks.
Bluegrass Cellular's faster data speeds and more complete coverage keep you connected to your community, no matter where life takes you. Whether you're exploring your own backyard or forging new paths across the country. Talk better, text better, play better, and share better. Here, there, and everywhere. Bluegrass Cellular, your community expanded.
E-Town Exterminating, a locally owned, family-run pest control company, has been serving Hardin County and the surrounding area since 1976. E-Town Exterminating provides pest control for residential and commercial properties. E-Town Exterminating on Ring Road in Elizabethtown. Phone 737-6900.
E-Town Exterminating. What the buzz is all about.
For additional information on HCEC-TV programming, call 270-769-8855 or email Gina Ryan at hardin.kyschools.us. On behalf of HCEC-TV, we would like to thank all of our live coverage sponsors.